This month, we find out if Frankie remembers Sister Sledge. We go Commando for Ghouls and Ghosts. We struggle to pronounce Gradius. We take a trip to Sin City. We find out where Batman began. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence turn out to be bad boys. Crazy Frog ruins a classic, whilst 8 out of 10 cats mock the week.
I'd like to talk to you about a menace threatening humanity. It's happening right here, in our very homes, and corrupting the lives of our loved ones.
Maybe they're friendly.
Hello and welcome to this next episode of Electronic Eggs podcast. This is another one of those episodes where we go through the month of June, this time from 1985, 1995, 2005 and 2015. Joining me as usual for these episodes, it's Paul Monaghan.
Hello. Yes, you can't get rid of me. I do love these episodes because I get to talk about stuff other than games, as I say, every single time. And yeah, it's a hot one this evening as we record this, just at the end of June, just in time. But we're still quicker than last time, and we've not had all the gremlins in the machine like we had for the last episode yet. God damn it, I've jinxed it. But no, here we go.
He's not here. He's poorly again. So he needs to work on that the immune system.
I'm just going on record. I haven't poisoned him just to basically take his place.
I'm starting to think maybe you're just one of his personalities, or he's one of your personalities, or yeah.
Could you imagine? Oh Jesus!
And you've chosen a Cockney Spurs fan as your alternate personality.
Jesus. And it's funny, you'd never seen either of us in the same room together either. But again, we were just saying, I've known you now over 10 years, but we've never actually met in person. That might change. Come October, we were just saying, with Play Blackpool coming up.
That will happen, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Obviously. Yeah, good times. I mean, you have to be, because you have to experience Play Blackpool. And we've been 15 years of Play Blackpool. By the way, this section isn't sponsored by Play Blackpool. It's just the fact that you've got to see the Norbreck Hotel. You know, legendary, absolutely legendary.
Yes, and I can't wait to go to Blackpool.
Yes,
I know. See, the thing, really enthusiastic voice, though, but I can't wait to go to Blackpool.
Honestly, I don't mind Blackpool. Loads and loads of people absolutely hate it.
You're from up that way, aren't you?
Like, yeah, I know. It's not just that.
That's
but
like,
look, listen,
that's like exotic for you.
You've got seaside towns. Honestly,
where
I stayed. Right, I stayed. The last time I stayed in Blackpool with family was. I'm not going to name the hotel because, well, mind you, this could have been a bloody review for Booking.com for them. But anyway, I stayed in this hotel. Let's just say it's something to do with the seashore, but it's not actually called that, but it's the shores. And yeah, it just wasn't very nice. It was what Body Shore? No, it's no Body Form for you. No, it was just not very nice. And then they accused me of not paying, even though I paid through the Booking.com site. And yeah, he wouldn't let me leave at first the next morning. So I said to my wife and kids, I went, you just head into Blackpool and I'll try and sort this out. So he goes, well, you have to go to the bank and find proof that you've paid it. I was like, I can't get any signal in your hotel. You know, it's like everything not working. The DVD player in the room so you can watch DVDs didn't work. There was someone had jammed 2 DVDs into the tray at the same time, thus breaking it.
I think it was like a multi-loading CD player or something.
No, I just think it was just basically dickheads just messing about. You know, but then also a couple of the lights didn't work in the room, so I'd already had to go down the night before to ask, can you put a light bulb in the the light socket, please? Well, the light, so I can actually, have light. The kids enjoyed it because he had bunk beds, and this was only about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago now. And
An
yeah,
DVD
it was
player in the
just
room. I thought you were talking like
yeah.
2005 or something.
No, 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 no. I'm talking what were
Jesus.
you?
So no
2023?
Netflix on the TV, just some
No,
DVDs.
nothing like that. Nothing like
Did they
that.
have a
It
little
was
DVD library for you to choose from?
yes, there was. That was downstairs. Although it was just pointless.
Uh,
But honestly, it was in a little corridor. And then we
just
said,
DVDs of the TV series Pointless.
no, but they said, do you want to go to the games room? I was like, oh, this could be interesting. Theo will go to the games room. And it was just basically a load of builders because we were still doing work, playing pool. So we couldn't play pool anyway, because obviously they were hogging the table. And they said, well, we've got the hotel bar open as well. And we're like, no, it's all right. I'll get back up to her room, and instead just took her some cans from the corner shop. But yeah, it was not the best night at all. We only stayed that one night, But yeah, burnt in my memory. That one definitely. Hopefully my trip
Well,
to Bath's a
hopefully,
bit
what we're
nicer.
going to talk about, some of the things we burnt
Yes,
into your memory.
sorry. Yes,
That's okay.
yes.
So
Let's
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 kick
go.
things off in 1985 with the movies. So released on the 13th of June was a film that we spoke about in a couple of episodes ago podcast, A View to a Kill, which was, of course, Roger Moore's last outing as Ian Fleming's 007, James Bond. Oh, that's the different one. It's the
Oh,
last
wrong one.
one. Yeah,
James
yeah,
Bond. I don't know. Maybe it's a
Bond,
bit more British, is it?
James
The
Bond.
name's Bond. James Bond.
Yeah, that's
Mayday.
the fella.
Money Penny. Anyway, yeah. Sorry. There we go.
Yes, so we spoke about that before. That's the one that stars Grace Jones and Christopher Walken
My
as the.
favourite Bond film.
Is
Honestly, I
it
love
your
this one.
favourite? This is one
It's
of
my
my least
favourite.
favorites. I don't like any
Really?
of Roger Moore's Bond movies,
Oh
like
man,
at all.
I
I don't
love
like
it.
them. Hate
It's
them.
got
All
Patrick
of them.
McGee in it as well.
It
McNee,
does.
is
Yeah.
it McGee?
McNee.
And then
McNee.
there's like the dodgy horse race, and
Yeah.
there's also the amazing Duran Duran song, one of the best
That's the thing.
Bond themes.
My theory is the better the theme tune, the
Yeah,
shitter the movie.
the better the music, the shit of the film.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the
Yeah, that might work.
music. Yeah, you look at the music for that, and what's it called? The one I was thinking of. Oh my god, why can't I think of the name of it?
Who sings
Oh,
it? Die Another Day.
aha, aha.
Oh, Living Daylights.
Living Daylights. Thank
Yeah.
you. Like Living Daylights.
Yes.
No,
That's a great one. That's a great song, though, isn't it?
it's a great song.
Yeah, but for film
Yeah,
is.
it's no. See, so there we
Anyway,
go. They are the movies.
yeah, I like it. Chris isn't bowled over by it.
No. The next one came out on the 21st of June, but was actually a 1984 release in America, of course, as we had to wait so long to get these movies over here. And that is the movie Runaway, starring Tom Selleck.
Never
Have you seen
seen
this?
this, but no, we get it in at work at times because it's on the 101 Films label, so it sells every time we get it in when they've got like a promotion on for like
Yeah.
£7 or £8. It always sells because it's a bit of a sci-fi film, and
Well, yeah, because
it's got Tom Selleck, and he was massive, obviously, in the 80s. This is like around his Magnum time.
well, yeah. The reason he
Isn't it?
isn't Indiana Jones is because he was contracted to do Magnum, which
Yeah.
they sat on for ages. The
Wow.
production company, but when they heard that Tom Selleck was being lined up for Indiana Jones, they progressed with the series to lock him in so that they could make him the star and not Lucasfilm.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
it's still on me to this is on me to watch list eventually
It's
because I
not
look at
bad,
it and
right?
go, yeah, it looks
Because
okay.
so it's about right. So it's set in 1991, so it's like it's supposed to be like futuristic. It's only like
That just
7 years
sounds.
away from when the movie was made, and it's about robots, right? Because they are quite commonplace, but then they become dangerous, and they are then called runaways, the ones that
Right.
break their programming and escape and stuff. And then there's this division which Tom Selleck is part of that have to track them down and stop the robots.
Okay.
It's
Yep.
not bad. It's not bad. It's got Kirstie Alley, and guess who else is in this?
Go
Gene
on.
Simmons from Kiss.
Oh, I take it he'll be the bad guy.
Well, I'll not spoil things for you, Paul, but it is worth watching. Okay.
Do you know what? Next time it goes on sale at
Yeah,
work, I'll pick that one up. Yeah,
yeah. I watched this probably in the mid-90s, so I was already watching it after the events of the movie. And I was
that
like,
just
I
sounds
don't
odd,
remember that
doesn't it?
happening.
So in the future, 1991,
Yeah,
a
I still
man,
miss
a
I still
robot.
miss hoverboards and stuff from 2015.
I know.
Those were good
So
times.
short-lived.
Yeah, so
Literally blinking, you
and
miss it.
self-drying clothes and self-tying shoes and stuff. All of that stuff was great. But anyway, let's move on to music then. So the number ones of June 1985 were 19 by Hardcastle Still for a week.
Yeah.
Then You'll Never Walk Alone by The Crowd. I'm guessing that's a cover of Jerry and the Pacemakers.
Yeah, just carry on.
Yeah. And the big one that was number one for 2 weeks is Frankie by Sister Sledge. What a banger.
Not too bad because I got a what's it called? Shep Pettibone, the remixer, a decent remixer that he did of it, which
Yeah.
I've got in my car. But yeah, it's not too bad. I prefer that to things like We Are Family and stuff because I'm not really Sister
Yeah, I
Sledge
don't like those,
fan.
but I think Frankie is fantastic, and it's got a funny video as well. It's good. It's a good tune. Frankie, do you remember Frankie? That's catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to albums then. So the three number one albums of the month. Our
Oh,
favorite shop by the Style Council.
okay. Right. Thing is with Style Council, right? Like obviously I was aware of the Jam when I was a kid, so I was 6 at this point, more or less. But with a Style Council, I remember a few years ago, like at HMB, we brought out a best of the Style Council. I was like, I probably know about 2 Style Council songs, and one of them is Shout to the Top. And then when I was listening to this best of, I was like, oh, this one's good. This one's good. And then this is what we said
Yeah,
in the
they're
last
actually got some
episode.
really good stuff on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but Weller's been around for
Weller's
the
fantastic,
other
man.
week when we said,
Doesn't
well,
miss.
the last episode,
Yeah.
what was it? He was 30 or in his 30s when he did
35.
Stanley Road.
Yeah,
And like, you look at this now, he's like mid-20s and you're thinking,
I know.
yeah, they've got a bit of
About
cool
50.
about them or
Yeah.
style. But yeah, not bad.
No,
Not bad.
Paul Weller doesn't miss, does he? Two great
No.
bands and a good singles career.
Yeah.
Pretty great. Then we have Boys and Girls by Brian Ferry.
Don't know
Which
this
is,
at all.
yeah, I know like one song for it, but I don't know it enough to sing it. Then we have Misplaced Childhood by Marillion.
Don't know the song, but I know the album because it's like one of those iconic album covers. The kid in like a little red army type jacket or something, and he's like
Yeah.
opening a box or something like that. But yeah, I've never got into Marillion. Even like with him being a big rock band back then. So go on, what's the TV stuff?
TV. So there's one show that debuted in June that I think is worth talking about. Even that is pushing it. It's the only one where I could think of anything to talk about. And that is And There's More, which came out on ITV on the 28th of June. And that is, of course, the comedy show presented by Jimmy Cricket, the Northern Irish entertainer. I'm not going to call him comedian because I didn't think he was funny. But entertainer's pushing it. But And There's More is obviously his catchphrase that he would say.
Yeah.
Not a funny guy, really. I don't think I laughed as a child at him either. So
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, it's just one of those sort of comedians, isn't it? As I know you won't use the term, but of an age, of an era, I should say. So to me, it's very, very ITV with the likes of Cannonball and people like that, and Frank Carson, and other people who are no longer with us because they were probably about 80 then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I could come up with for TV for this month. And
okay, next time, don't bother. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm joking. I don't even remember that.
Do you not?
No, I really don't. But
I
we've got
do
some good
remember the
news.
TV show.
We've got better news though coming up because for the
We
first time
do.
ever, we've got games.
We have games.
And we never have games
Games.
in 1985.
We never talk about games in 1985, but we have first of all, an absolute classic, I would say, is Commando in the arcade.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Now this, for those who don't know, sort of top-down shooter. You play as Commando, and then you have another player who can play as the other Commando. It's from Capcom. It's very inspired by, like Predator and things like that, and Rambo and stuff, isn't it? So
Yeah, yeah.
yes, it's absolutely fantastic. It's a fantastic co-op game. You can play it on the Capcom arcade stadium thing, so if you want to play it and get it in that, if you want to play it modern now. There was a Wolf of the Battlefield release, remember, Commando Wolf of the Battlefield, that was released on the 360 back
No,
in
I
like
never played that one.
2007, something like that. It was one of the Xbox Live arcade games in one. They used to do those summer of arcade things.
Yes, yes.
And I think it was one of the releases on that, and yeah, it was a quite a decent update actually. I quite enjoyed it. But yeah, Commando, absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love that game.
Yes.
I
No,
really enjoyed
still
the Mega
good.
Drive game as well, when that came to Mega Drive.
Yeah, I mean,
That
the
was
thing
cool.
is, though, it's quite challenging as well, though. But I think that's just it. Any games where it's just basically a scrolling screen and chance to gun down a load of people. Because, like you say, the
Yeah,
action films and the action movie star was like
yeah,
huge at this time. So yeah,
it
brilliant.
was.
It's still good,
Absolutely
and
was.
like I say, good shot with the shout with the Capcom arcade thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
continuing the
collection.
Capcom arcade, they were absolutely bombing it this month with Ghosts and Goblins. Again, another
So
June
good.
1985 release.
I know.
Yeah, so Ghosts and Goblins, if people don't know, you play as a knight called Arthur, sorry, where he, as he gets hit, he loses his clothes, and then you just see him running around in his pants. It's a very hard game and series of games, but it's fantastic fun. And it's one of those games where you really just have to memorize everything to be able to know what you're going to do. But then at the same time, it kind of throws things up by having the enemies appear from the ground as well. So they come out of the ground at you, and they can come out of the ground at you anywhere. So it is quite a tough game, even if you're trying to memorize your patterns like you did in most games back then. But yeah, another really great game that had a recent re-release in the last few years, hasn't it? Was it Resurrection that came out
Yeah,
on
yeah.
everything recently?
I still not didn't play it though because when it came
I
out, I was
played
like,
it.
"Oh,
It
I
was
should give
really
it a
hard.
try." But
Again, I put it on normal and I didn't clear the first level. So I put it on easy and I couldn't clear the third level. And I was like, oh
God,
my God, this game is so hard. Can you imagine? But then I've seen people speedrun it online. How are you doing this, you robots? But
drugs,
it's a great
drugs.
series.
They're
My
winners who
favorite
did
my
take
favorite
drugs.
one though was definitely Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo.
Super
That was one I
Nintendo.
put the
Yeah,
most time
I'm
into.
absolutely awful at that. I've got through like the first level and that's about it. But then obviously to get the true ending, you had to what was it? Complete it twice. I'll get through it
Yeah,
twice.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
never going to happen.
See,
Even
a
with
game like
save
that isn't
states and
fun.
rewinds and stuff, it's still hard.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No chance.
So next is another arcade classic. This time from Konami, and this is the shooter Gradius, depending on which way you want to say it. But it is meant to be from because the ship looks like a sword, so I think it's meant to be like Gladius, as like the sword being like a gladiator thing. Is where I think the name comes from. So, but yes, it's a fantastic shooter that has had quite a few sequels. The best one being Gradius 5 on the PS2. Um,
You're gonna
I
say
still
that.
have that installed on my PS3, sitting right here, and I do bust it out very, very often because it is such a great game to play.
No,
But I
they're a
still
good
really enjoy
series
the
then.
original. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there is an arc. I think to coincide with the 40th anniversary this year, there is a Gradius collection coming on all
Yeah, I saw
platforms.
that
So
recently.
yeah, that's
I mean, I
something
play
I'm
on it
looking
when we
forward
go to
to.
arcade club. You know,
Yeah,
it's one of those. I'm not great at it, but I feel like there's certain shoot 'em ups like that which have got this certain heritage about them. And obviously, when you go to arcade club, you know, you paid in, so you can go on whatever games you
we're
want for
not
as long
supposed
as you
to talk
want.
about Arcade Club, mate.
I know, no. Well, that arcade place then that isn't a club. Yeah, damn.
So now we have some home games.
Y-
So on
yes.
the ZX Spectrum, the Amstrad CPC, we had Formula One. Strangely, no Commodore 64 version. But yeah, Formula One, which is obviously an F1 racing game. I haven't played this one, so I don't know much about it.
No, not something I'd touch at all.
No. So the next one is a game called Shadowfire, which came out on the ZX Spectrum, the Amstrad CPC, and the Commodore 64. Have you played this Shadowfire?
No, I've never played this, but I know it's. If I'm thinking of the right game, this is like quite highly respected.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look. Shadow.
So basically the game's played in real time over an hour and 40 minutes. Okay, and you control 6 players, and you've got to try and guide them through. So you have to guide them through to actually complete it, to like complete it within that 1 hour and 40 minutes. There is a bit of combat and things like that, but it's it's hard to describe it. I have played it years ago, but it's kind of it's an icon based game, right? So you have like the mission screen, right, which displays
Right.
the character, your active character's location and status and everything. And then you have like your status screen, your object screen, movement, and then it changes to battle screen. So it's kind of like, like Phantasy Star, where you go into like the battle screen and it's the first person and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah.
that. So it's kind of like that, but it's a British game made by Denton Designs.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it is kind of like an RPG.
Yeah, like like a bit dungeon crawly-ish.
Yeah.
I'm just having a quick look at it now.
Being played in like that real time, it's pretty cool as well for this point. But one that if you have one of those the Spectrums, it's probably worth giving it a load.
I do.
Well, give it a load onto there, Paul.
I've still not actually used it since buying it in November, which sounds exactly like me.
About buying it, and every time I think about buying it, it's always sold out.
No, and there's people like me just sitting on it, just going, never even opened it yet. Well, I opened it, took it out of the box, and went, yeah, that looks nice, and packed it back away. Yeah. Anyway,
it's
what's the last one?
Shadowfire. Definitely give that a go. So the last one is a ZX Spectrum exclusive, and it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, based on the book, not the movie. So
I had no idea this even existed to do a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I loaded this onto an emulator today to see what it was all about, because I was like, I really should play this, because I'd already played Shadowfire, so I knew that. Right. I didn't think about playing Formula One, because it's probably just an F1 game. Who needs to know more than that? But this is weird, right? So, but quite progressive, because it's basically 4 games in one. So you play as 4 children. So you play as Augustus, you play as Violet, and you play Veronica, and you play as going through each level, but each level is different, right? So Augustus, you have to guide around a maze, right? Picking up chocolate around a maze. It's not very good. Violet is being attacked by blue, and you must like deflect them away. So it's kind of just like an avoidance game. Yeah. Veronica is being attacked by squirrels, right? And so you have to leave poison nuts as defense. So the squirrels eat these poison nuts, and you kill them to get through. But it's not really to get through anyway, because it's just a single screen game. These are all single screen games, right? So you are just trying to avoid these things like you are with Veronica's thing. So it's saying different. It's literally just changed some sprites. It's not really that different again. And then Mike travels across multiple floors, so his is a bit different, and he's got to collect the Wonka bars whilst avoiding cameras that try to attack him with a shrink ray.
Sounds absolutely ridiculous.
It is, but strangely, it's quite playable. Right? It's because they're such like short burst games. They are quite playable. I mean, nothing looks like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for a start. The graphics are pretty poor, but it's not bad. I didn't hate it. I thought I would absolutely hate it, but yeah, it's not bad. Like, it's not shit.
No idea it even existed at all.
Yeah, so I didn't either. But I thought I should really give this a go, because I need to talk because we're going to talk about games. I should really talk about games. So that's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on the ZX Spectrum. Maybe another one that you could load on. Your kids might enjoy it. Paul.
I just can't believe that even exists.
Yeah, well, there
You
we
know.
go. It's there. It's happened.
That's absolutely crazy.
Isn't it just? Yeah. So
what
anyway,
we got
news.
next?
We got the news
Yes.
from June. So Battle of the Beanfield, Britain's largest mass arrest and the effective end of the Stonehenge Free Festival. So this was, lots of people being arrested. There was festivals at Stonehenge every year. That was then stopped. As there was a lot of violence going on. On June the 6th, Birmingham unveils its bid to host the 1992 Summer Olympics, which includes the plans for a £66 million stadium. Obviously, that didn't happen.
Think how much money that'd be back then as well.
I know, it's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
can see why it didn't happen. On 22nd of June, police arrest 13 suspects in connection with the Brighton hotel bombing in 1984.
Yes.
And on the 29th of June, Patrick McGee, very close to the name you were saying earlier, is charged with the murder of the people who died in the Brighton.
Do you know what? I was just thinking, the actor.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
that's 1985. A bit more to talk about in terms of games, but less movies and less television to talk about. So we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back in 1995. Hello, welcome back to 1995. Paul, what are you wearing in 1995?
Well, I am wearing double denim with a blue denim jeans and a blue denim shirt. I had my hair permed by this point, and as mentioned, I think previously, was getting the piss taken out of me on a daily basis, but I thought I looked quite cool eventually. But it was always a Prodigy t-shirt or a Megadeth t-shirt. Just I suppose like a dress now, but just
I would have been wearing some beige corduroy trousers, some Kickers shoes, a Ben Sherman shirt with a Puma King jumper over the top.
We would have been in different. Well, I say we would have been in different circles because obviously some of my mates were into a lot of the same music, but they had more fashion than I did. You know. But Kickers shoes, God, they were popular.
Yeah, there was those or Nike All Blacks that I wore.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was. Oh God. Yeah. This is like some of those like 90s brands you always not forget about, but you know, like you
One
forget
thing I
how
never
big
wore
they were.
was a Spliffy jacket.
You know. Yeah, and the NAFCO 54. Yeah. Yeah, no, neither did I. I mean, couldn't afford them. You know, I'd probably have to get some market knockoff
shirt and my Puma King jumper.
But again, this is like when we used to have things like in Bolton. We used to have like kids' night club nights where everyone would be in like Ben Sherman shirts and the Kickers shoes and things like that. You know, it's good memories in a way. You know, I was thinner then, so I could probably get away with wearing nicer clothes and not looking a bit more frumpy in my Sonic t-shirts I'm sat here today.
Anyway, movies. On the 2nd of June,
movies?
Jack and Sarah was released, which is a sort of romantic comedy, but it's kind of starts off like so sad. So it's Richard E. Grant and Samantha Mathis.
Oh yeah,
Judi
I've not
Dench,
seen this
Ian
since it
McKellen,
came out.
and if you could put a couple on screen together that you go, oh, that'd be a great couple, despite one of them being gay, would be Judi Dench and Ian McKellen. How amazing would that be?
Yeah, I'm gonna end up wanting to watch this film again because I don't think it's a bad film. If I'm
Although,
thinking right,
Ian McKellen is not the partner of Judi Dench. I'm just saying they would be great on screen. Yeah, if they,
no, of course. But I
I do
do
too.
like
I
Richard E.
do,
Grant.
and I love McKellen. But Ian McKellen plays. Basically, the film starts with. This is no spoiler because it literally is the start of the movie. So Jack and Sarah are expecting a baby. Jack falls and hits his head, goes into a coma. When he awakes, he finds that his wife has died and the baby has been born. He rejects fatherhood, leaving his daughter with Judi Dench, his mum, and oh no, yeah, Judi Dench is his mum, and I can't remember who plays his dad. But anyway, yeah, so he's left with he's left like not wanting to be a dad. He later meets Samantha Matters, his character. She's the babysitter, and then he falls in love with her and then starts bonding with his daughter due to the attraction he has with the babysitter, and then he becomes like part of the baby's life, and they get together. But yeah, it's a good movie. Ian McKellen's because like he's alcoholic along with Richard E. Grant. And it's a very, very good movie, very feel good movie in the end, but while you're watching it's kind of tough going at the rejection of his child, it's but yeah. Have you seen it, Paul?
Again, a very, very long time ago. I think it's probably one that I picked up on like, DVD for £1 or something, but I'm going back easily 20 odd years ago, but it might have even been on video. But yeah, this is what I mean. There's certain 90s UK films, like when I watched that Shooting Fish the other month, that sort of era, because Shooting Fish is about 97, where you're like going, they're not exactly comedies, it's not like a Britcom. It's just like there's a little bit of like, comedy sprinkled in, but it's always sort of like, it's not like, in Ace Ventura or something, like a slapstick comedy. I don't know, the real life situations with just like a few humorous moments and a few, like mishaps and stuff like that. I'm picturing the cover. I know it's got Richie Grant on the cover, but yeah, I'm going back a long time.
Next on
what have we got next?
On the 2nd of June, we have Mad Dogs and Englishmen, which is a romantic thriller. I want to say is how I would probably describe it, with Liz Hurley and Thomas Howell, the American actor.
Never watched this. Never ever
years ago.
Watched it.
Only because I was a young man who found Elizabeth Hurley to be very visually appealing, so I watched it.
It was huge though, because remember she was going out with Hugh Grant at the time.
So yeah, I watched it then. I don't remember much of it. All I remember drug addict, and the person that she gets her supply off. I don't know what happens to him, but something happens to him. I can't remember. And she ends up hooking up with this new supplier who's this American guy, which is C. Thomas Howell, and they end up forming a romantic codependency thing going on. But at the same time, she's being pursued by police and things like that. And I don't remember much else beyond that. Sorry.
Yeah, never seen. No. I'm looking at the cover now. Never ever seen that.
I just rented it from the local video shop when I was younger, and I was like, that was not memorable. Anyway, so on the 9th of June, we have Kiss of Death, which was meant to be the big breakout movie for David Caruso after his Hill Street Blues career. He was like considered to be this like next big thing, and this was meant to be the movie to really do it. Do you remember this one?
Again, no, I really don't. I'm just
Nicolas Cage,
Nicolas
Samuel
Cage.
Jackson, Helen Hunt, Michael Rappaport being Ram, Stanley Tucci. Yeah, it's got a stellar cast.
I've never seen it, but that's a big cast.
It's not a bad movie. So it's a crime thriller where you have David Caruso, who's so what's the best way to tell it? He's trying to get out of that life. So he's an ex-convict, and he's trying to get out of being
Right.
that.
No, I've
And
never seen this
I think he's
either.
also a recovering alcoholic. But then, yeah, he gets embroiled back into crime. Yeah, and it's I remember it being quite good movie, but it didn't do particularly well. And David Caruso was not sort of pushed beyond after that movie, really. So, and then obviously he became the CSI New York guy. No, not you, New York, Miami.
Yeah, that's a huge cast.
Oh
Stanley
yeah,
Tucci. What's he called as
yeah,
well? Helen Hunt.
yeah. Helen Hunt
Just
plays his
looking
wife in
now.
it.
Philip
Yeah,
Baker Hall rings the
and
bell.
yeah,
Wow, God.
it's not a bad movie. It's probably worth watching if you get a chance to watch it. But it's a remake though of a 1947 movie of the same name. Yeah, so
Okay.
that one.
Right, so
Next
I've
we've
got next.
got on the
Hopefully I've
16th
seen
of
one of
June, so
these at
3
some
days
point.
prior to 16th birthday, his father took him along to watch Bad Boys at the cinema. What are
What
you
you
going
gonna
to do
do?
when they come for you? Badges? You want badges, mother dick? That is a line from the movie. Yeah.
Yes, I know.
And then he says, "Give me some."
Imagine if I didn't
Yeah.
recognize that.
So yeah, this was a movie directed by Mike Bay in his directorial debut. And yeah, obviously we were had to be punished for the rest of our lives with his movies. But yes, this was a Michael Bay movie starring Martin Lawrence, Will Smith. Remember, Martin Lawrence was the bigger star at the time than Will Smith. Will Smith had just coming off Fresh Prince at this point. I think he'd done Made in America
Yeah.
prior to this with Whoopi Goldberg and Ted Danson. Was like, yeah,
Oh God, yeah. See, I love it when I just get a film like that mentioned to me. I'm like, oh shit, I remember that. Remember seeing
yeah.
that in the old
So
video shops. But this is what I mean. So
yeah,
many films just disappear. You
no,
don't
you
see them
don't.
anymore.
But Bad Boys, yeah, Tia
Bad Boys, you're
Leone,
always going to
who
see.
I had major hots for as well. Um, yeah, yeah, she was
Yes,
in it.
of course.
Yeah, so that
Yeah,
was the
she
first
was
movie where
nice.
you had these cops had to look after Tierra Leone to make sure that she did not get killed. Um, it was a buddy comedy movie, which has now spawned 3 sequels. This is Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys for
Yeah,
Life, and is it
yeah,
Ride or Die?
yeah. That Ride or
Yeah,
Die
I
is
did
meant to
not
be
enjoy the third
okay.
movie at all.
Like just yeah, it's
Yeah,
meant to be awful. Because it's only because they made it more not quite family friendly, but like more. I think it's
we only
rated
had
a
to wait 2
12s.
months as well for Bad Boys. It's
Yeah, which
really
is
quick.
really, really quick. Because again, we were saying at this point, we're still usually got a bit of a wait
Yeah,
between American releases and UK releases. Hence, pirate videos doing
yeah.
really, really well back in the day. Anytime I went on
So I
to
remember like
the car
Desperado
boots.
came out ages before. I mean, probably even a year before. And then it did come out.
Yeah, because that
Yeah.
was a pirate video that I had for ages. Photocopy cover,
Well, I
usually
don't know if
of
I told you this.
just a cinema
I bought
poster
that
with no
movie
other
for
art on it.
90 quid from my local video shop. I walked in the cinema and I was like,
Hell,
bloody love that. And then
Jesus
I found out that
Christ.
the release date for the movie for the VHS was going to be like 8 or 9 months. And I was like, well, I'll just buy the rental. And I went in and I asked the guy, and I was like, can you order me one? It was £90. And I was like, yeah, I know, but I really like the movie. So I paid £90 for a movie, which in today's money, that's like £2. Um,
Thing is, people forget this because I speak to a lot of customers like doing their HMV job and we're like, oh, when's Final Destination Bloodlines out? And you're like, oh, it's going to be out, like in 7 or 8 weeks.
yeah.
Oh, that's ages. And I always go, like, do you forget the likes of Batman and stuff like that took, like a year to come out to buy from the cinema, if you're lucky. Sometimes it was like,
Sometimes they wouldn't
a
come out to
year and a
buy.
bit.
Sometimes they go to rental and they wouldn't come out to buy. like because they'd done that badly, they
Yeah,
couldn't afford
yeah,
to do a run on VHS.
yeah. And then
It would
you were
come to
hoping
TV
that,
or something, you know, 'cause
stuff
yeah,
like yeah, yeah, yeah. Things like Mrs. Doubtfire, like just an example, because I remember watching that at the
I
cinema,
think they did quite
then
well though,
renting it
probably.
out, and then managing to buy it
Well,
in
this was the thing, right? The
Woolies or
more
something
successful
like
your
that.
movie was at the cinema, the quicker its release date was for rental and purchase. So remember, like something like Titanic.
Yeah,
Titanic
yeah,
came
like
out on
Jurassic
video to
Park.
buy the same day it did to rent, which is really, really rare. But also, the movie was still in the cinemas when it came out on VHS. Yeah,
Full
Full
Monty did
Monty was another
something
one. Yeah,
similar as well. I think that was
yeah,
like, yeah, that. So then you're looking at like
yeah.
'98 roughly for that era. That's when the shift slowly started, but
Like I say,
only on a
if you've
few
done exceptionally
titles.
well at the box
You know,
office, global box office. If you did really well at global box office, then you get it. But if you did well, like domestically, which is America, that the movies are predominantly American-made movies, right? So if they did well predominantly in the American box office, you'd see a quick release. But if they didn't do well globally, it will be a much slower rollout. So it's all based on how well something did at the
yeah,
cinema to when it came out, because they would have to make their money back. Yeah, and sometimes they would just be completely hesitant to do it beyond because they were just like, oh, we can't take a swim in the money that we're going to spend on printing, well, not printing, manufacturing VHSs, because it was a manufacture job. It wasn't let's print some copies onto a disc back then. Anyway, let's move on to. We didn't even
yeah.
talk about Bad Boys at all. What were your thoughts on Bad Boys?
I've not watched it for a very long time. I remember the first time I watched that, I think it was probably taped off Sky Movies. In fact, that's what a lot of films did. I'm sure it was like some of them even went on Sky Movies
Yeah.
before coming out to buy. That was like the big
Well, like I say,
selling
my
point.
dad took me to the cinema to watch that, and then
Again,
I went to HMV afterwards, and I bought the
yeah.
soundtrack on CD because there was some
Jesus
yeah, because
Christ.
Shy
With
Guy,
Shy
I
Guy?
freaking loved that in the movie. I was like, man, I need to hear more of that.
Yes, Shy
Yeah, I
Guy.
was
What
like,
a song.
oh Lord,
Yes,
have
it is
mercy, mercy,
really,
mercy.
really good. Because like when we've been watching my old Top at Pops, it was on there.
Was it Diane
But
King?
no,
Was it?
yeah, I've not watched it for a long
Yeah,
time.
okay.
Yeah,
Can get in
yeah,
after
that
that.
rings a bell. But yeah, I just think like when I'd seen things like Beverly Hills Cop, so you saw those sort of like wisecracking police comedy with films with a bit of action in. So I was like going, oh yeah, this is just going to be like Beverly Hills
Yeah,
Cop for the
but it
'90s.
did
That's how I
it
saw
did
it.
sort of it changed like the dynamic of Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, because Martin Lawrence, like I say, was the bigger star going into that movie, but coming out of that movie, Will Smith was the bigger star. Like
Yeah,
his rise
yeah.
after
So
that,
then you see the
the
billing
following year you've
change.
got Independence Day. The year after you've got Men in Black. Right, then you've got Wild West. But he just continued to be like the summer blockbuster guy, whereas Martin Lawrence was doing
Yeah, yeah. And his
yeah,
music
whereas
career was
Martin
getting
Lawrence
big as
ended up
well.
being the
You
guy
know,
who was in like Big Mama's House and Nothing to Lose, Heat or Blue Steel.
I like Nothing to
Yeah,
Lose
I
because I
liked it
like
because of
Tim
Tim Robbins,
Robbins.
but
You know,
yeah, he was that. But Martin Lawrence was
yeah.
he did not have the career trajectory that Will Smith did. His went completely the other way
Oh,
after that,
oh God,
because it
no,
was like, no, Will
no.
Smith is actually the funny guy we're going to go with now. Martin Lawrence didn't
Yeah,
continue his star.
you could just imagine. You could imagine him though, just going like, "Okay, so it's been years now since Bad Boys 2, and then all of a sudden, like going, "Hi, is that Will? It's Martin. Who? Martin Lawrence? Yeah, okay,
Listen,
yeah.
you're gonna
What do you want? Do you
listen. The
fancy doing
P
another
Diddy
Bad
stuff's going
Boys
to come out
film?
soon. Do you wanna do Bad Boys 3 and 4? Yeah, because it could save you a bit. Because
Sure,
this P
whatever.
Diddy stuff with the baby oil in you, it's going to be everywhere. Not the baby oil. Well, there probably is. I don't know. Um, yeah. Anyway,
Oh God.
this
Right, this is taking a
let's
dark
go.
turn. Let's
23rd
go
of
to the next
June.
film,
Go.
which, yes, just about to get another reissue from the Eureka label. Now, this film I've only ever watched once, and I didn't like it because I was like, "This is a futuristic." Obviously, I was not
Yeah,
aware
the
of the
British comic
comic book
series. Yeah.
at all. Um, yeah, yeah, I was just like, I tried to watch it because I know it's got Ice-T in it as well, and
It's
it's
got
like a
Naomi
load of
Watts.
sort of what is it,
Yeah,
kangaroo
Naomi
type
Watts is in it,
creatures?
Malcolm McDowell, and it's got
It's,
Laurie Petty in the
yeah,
lead role as
just
Tank Girl. But
yeah, she used to be popular in
she
the
did, yeah.
early to mid
I thought it was good.
'90s.
I thought it was good comedy, like science fiction movie. Yeah, it had some good
Yeah.
bits.
I keep looking at it. I keep looking at
It's
whether to
kind of
get
like
it
it's
because
kind
it's
of like
about
Mad
16
Maxy.
quid.
Um,
Yeah, that's what appealed to me. It's like what I just said about Bad Boys being the new Beverly Hills Cop. So, because obviously it's a desert setting and everything like that. It's quite, apocalyptic. So I was like going, yeah, I like this, but I
well,
don't know,
comic
just
it does.
nothing,
The
nothing
premise is
at
like
all.
after there's a like in the year 2023, which is 10 years after a comet striking the Earth. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So yeah, because we are now in 2025. So if a comet did strike the Earth, I would have known about it, I think. But yes, but it is a good movie. I think it's a really good movie. I think, yeah, I think it should. I haven't seen it recently, so I don't know if it stands up, but I did enjoy it at the time. I must confess, and I felt that the like Laurie Petty was fantastic at carrying that movie. But it's got some great shots as well.
If it was on a streaming
Yeah, this is the
service,
thing. I
I'd
really wanted
try
to
it, but
watch
I'm a
this
bit
again before
reluctant.
this because I really wanted to talk about it more because I remember liking it a lot, but I can't find it anywhere to watch. And the same with the next two movies as well that I can't see anywhere. Which
No,
is
I
so annoying
know.
because I really like one of these next two
Yeah.
movies. I can't remember enough about it because I haven't seen it for like over 20 years. So next one on the 30th of
So
June,
let's
we had
let's move on.
Friday, which is a American buddy comedy movie, which stars. I thought you were going to come in. Ice Cube, yes, and Chris
Ice Cube?
Tucker.
No.
That's our buddies. Uh,
Yes. Yay! I've not seen it
right.
for so long, but again, when I first watched it, I
But
liked
it's
it. But
also
I'm
got
going
Bernie
back
Mac in as
to
well, and
probably
that was
2000.
when I was like, man, Bernie Mac is so funny. Is what I thought back then, So yeah, anytime I saw Bernie Mac afterwards, but yeah, I think this is an absolutely classic comedy movie.
It's just obviously just a group of people
Yeah,
living
but
in
it's done
the
in a
ghetto,
non.
isn't
It's
it?
done in.
And so
It's
you've
not in a
got drug
violent way,
dealers and
like Boys in the Hood or something like that.
no, no, no,
Which
no. I
Ice
know.
Cube
It's
was
just
in.
like people living.
And yeah, it's really good. I really like this movie. I think it's one of.
If I want to watch it again because it's been so long. Because then, but I remember seeing like the other two
Yeah.
Friday films, and they
The
just get
thing,
worse with next Friday, which is still all right. Friday after next, I don't remember
but
liking at
F.
all.
Gary Gray is the director, right? And he had a very spotty career. So he did The Negotiator, which I think is one of, like,
That's a good
yeah,
film from
with Samuel
'98, I think
Jackson,
it is.
Kevin Spacey. Yeah,
Kevin
and
Spacey. Yeah,
but
we
it's
don't
such a
talk
good
about
movie.
Spacey. He used to be one of my favorite actors as well.
Even
It's a
more than
bit
Samuel
sad.
Jackson.
No, more
Jesus.
than Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
Honestly, my top three were
you've never mentioned that.
Harrison Ford. No,
Yeah,
no, Harrison Ford, and then Harrison Ford
yeah.
again. No, then Tim Robbins, who I absolutely loved, and then
One of those
Kevin
has not
Spacey.
aged well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. Just been
But yeah, so he
cancelled.
did The Negotiator.
No, I know.
But then he also did the Italian Job reboot. The one with Mark Wahlberg, Ed
Yeah, with
Norton,
Mark
Jason
Wahlberg.
Statham, and Charlize Theron.
Ugh,
It's not a good movie, that one. Be
no,
Cool. He did the
no,
sequel
it's
to Get
terrible.
Shorty, and again, that's not a good movie. He
Oh,
did
God.
what was it, The Fate of the Fast and Furious, which isn't actually too bad. But then he also did Men in Black International. But he is going to direct
Oh, Jesus.
Last Friday. So they
Oh,
are doing
okay.
another movie. But it is
Eh,
very, very funny. But yeah, F. Gary Gray, I always found that as a fascinating thing that he so all over the place as a director. There's no way.
yeah, definitely. But
Yeah,
a
way
lot more
more.
misses
Way
there than
more.
hits.
Yeah.
A
I mean,
lot
I
more
would give him.
misses. But Negotiator is really good, and that was on. I think it was on BBC. probably only a few months ago. I was like, God, I've not seen
Yeah.
this for so long.
Well, we will get to that in
And
3 years.
I do need to watch
Talk
it
about
again.
it. Anyway, so
Yes.
yeah, I definitely would agree with doing that because with watching Friday if you can, but you can't because I've looked and I couldn't see it anywhere. Isn't it Warner who own that? Because that's New Line, isn't it? Yeah.
I think so. I've
Yeah,
not
okay.
watched this next film though,
You
ever.
didn't
I
watch
did not
Congo?
fancy it at all.
Oh man.
No. And we are now talking
I
about
watched it
Congo.
for one
I didn't play the games. I didn't
reason
watch
I
the
watched this,
film.
right? And do you want to know what that one reason was? No,
Which woman's in it? Oh no, you're gonna
no,
say
Ernie
Tim Curry, aren't
Hudson.
you?
Tim
Is
Curry is
Tim
in it,
Curry
yeah.
in it?
But Ernie
Oh
Hudson's
really?
in it, and
Okay.
Ernie Hudson was my favorite Ghostbuster.
Oh,
Other
okay.
than Bill Murray.
Yes.
And yeah, this one was directed by Frank Marshall, who is married to Kathleen Kennedy. You know, the woman who runs Disney now. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, he did some good stuff, Frank Marshall, a lot of Stephen King stuff.
yeah. So yeah, that's so basically the premise of Congo is a science fiction movie, and yeah, it's an expedition team. They go into the mountains and there's a gorilla with them, and yeah, they go to the jungles to find a they go to find a missing expedition in the mountains and the jungles, then of an ancient civilization, and yeah, they come across a really violent gorilla species that tries to kill them all.
It's just not for me. I mean, I've just put Anaconda on record. Um, well, I recorded it the other night off one of the well, not Sky channels, but the Freeview
Yeah,
type channels, because it's like so many films around that time. Because I've never watched Anaconda, either. But it's like sort of violent animal type films don't really
no,
do much for me.
I
It's
it's
just
not very
not
good.
something that.
I'm going to say it's not a very good movie,
Yeah.
but I watched it just for Ernie Hudson because I was like, yeah, Ernie Hudson again. I haven't seen him in Hand the Rocks the Cradle. So yeah, I wanted to watch it.
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
Does.
Because he dies in
It's
that,
really
isn't
fun.
he? If I'm thinking, yeah, he's in The Crow as well. I only just
Oh, is he?
realised when
I
I
haven't
watched
seen
the
that
original Crow
since
again. Yeah,
like I don't know, 94 or something. Anyway, music
yeah,
singles. We have one
yes,
number one for
yes.
this whole
Music.
month, and that is still
Just
Unchained
say it and then
Melodies of the
move on.
White Cliffs of Dover by Robson and Jerome. Yeah,
Christ
this is why the
Almighty.
British people shouldn't be allowed to vote or do anything that involves using their choice. Um, I fully believe this. British people absolutely should not have any freedoms. Right, albums. Singles by
Yeah.
Alison Moyet,
Moving on.
which obviously a release of all her singles onto Station. Some good stuff on there. Alison Moyet, yeah, just did some
Yeah,
good things. Pulse by Pink Floyd. Not a good Pink Floyd album, I'm going to say. It
nice.
did
It
have
had
a
a
very
nice
nice
cover
cover.
though because it had like a flashing LED
Yeah,
light type thing
it did.
on the first edition.
Yeah, I
I
remember
seem to
sitting
remember.
at Dad's house and listening to it, and I was like, "Oh, this is not as good as the other stuff." But yeah,
Yeah, I've never bothered
but they're
about Floyd.
Cambridge, Cambridge boys, so gotta love them. The homeboys. Anyway, next one, History by Michael Jackson. Yeah, it was.
Which was huge. And recently in the news, they were saying they had these giant Michael Jackson history statues. And it was on BBC News saying, what happened to the
Were they
massive
real?
Michael Jackson statues? And yeah, they were real. Yeah. They were something like 10 foot tall, I think it said.
No.
Maybe taller. But yeah, there was a news story on BBC about a week ago.
Okay. No, I do not remember that at all.
Oh, there was 3 of them in the
Oh
UK.
wow!
I
I
think it said.
honestly assumed they were just.
You'll have to have a look later.
I
Honestly,
thought
you'll
they were
have to
just
have a look later.
graphics. But no, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, they were
Well, there
real.
we go. That's me absolutely told then, isn't it? But yeah, that was a big album. Obviously, it did very, very well. Yeah. Anyway, next TV. There is one show on the 27th of June was Bump in the Night. Do you remember this? No?
Heard of this?
So
No,
it was
no.
a stop motion animated series, kids sort of show, and it ran for 2 years. No, you don't remember this? It was like monsters. So there's a Mr. Bumpy who's like a small
Hang on,
green
what, 15 at 10?
that lives under the bed of a 10-year-old boy where he eats his dirty socks. No,
What?
okay, yeah,
No. I do not remember
yeah.
any
There's
of
other characters
this.
in it as well, like a boy,
What is
like a
going
sort
on
of
in my
robot
head?
who thinks of himself as a cop, and he keeps trying to arrest Mr. Bumpy. Sorry. And there's like a pile of clothes in the boy's wardrobe. That's like a monster as well. And there's like a Raggedy Ann style doll things. No.
No. No, I
There's a
really,
music
really,
video at the
really
end of
don't
every
remember that.
episode.
What I have just done, though.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Anyway,
called Bump in the Night. I have just, but while you've been telling me about that, I have just popped in that Michael Jackson story in our
okay.
Discord channel for anyone who, your Discord channel. God's sake,
Oh, you are one of
I've
us
just
now, aren't
taken over,
you?
Danny. Sorry, your I know. No, in the Discord channel, talking about the Michael Jackson statues
Cool.
from history. You know, for anyone who missed that story there.
Yeah, Bump in the Night. Bump in
What
the
was it
Night.
called again? That
Yeah.
Bump in the Night.
Oh, well,
I
I
do
remember
not
this,
remember
but
this.
I
Bump
was 16 when
in
this came
the
out.
Night.
But yeah.
Oh,
It
was
was
it
stop motion.
animated? No. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it says that. Yeah. God, I've never
Yeah, I thought
ever
it was all
seen
right.
this.
Anyway, games. There is a game in
Yeah, sorry.
1995 we can finally talk about. Street Fighter Alpha in the
Hallelujah.
arcade. Yeah, so Capcom were back with the Street Fighter series. You thought I was going to go back with the Renegade Master there, because that's what it sounded like. But Street Fighter
I
Alpha in
know.
the arcade,
I know.
which for me I thought was a real return to form after I was getting really bored of the Street Fighter 2 series at this point. So there's only so many times you can really do Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, it was quite a big what's it called? Like a big
Yeah.
sort of switch up of everything, because you think we've had 4 years of three different official versions, maybe even 4 of Street Fighter 2. Well, I suppose it is 4, because if you've got Turbo, Championship, Super, and then you've got all those dodgy ones like Rainbow Edition and everything like that. You know, you got the dodgy boards in your arcade.
Yeah, and this one
Yeah.
that had a much smaller roster of characters compared to what Street Fighter 2 ended up with. But yeah, it's had a different art style as well. So the art was a lot more sort of anime inspired, I want to say, because it looked more like the covers that came from Japan.
I wonder if it was a different arcade board.
I think it definitely would have been a different arcade
like, you know, like,
board. It would have, what were they? They would have CPCs.
You know, compared to the others.
But yeah, it looked fantastic, had a really good soundtrack, had some good new counters and things like that in it. Yeah, it was really good. So some of the new characters, so you had what's his face replacing Guile, Charlie, who ended up having a much better moveset than Guile as well. But yeah, I really enjoy Street Fighter Alpha.
It brought in that girl.
Sakura.
It's not Sakura, or is it Sakura? Yeah, and it also, did Sodom end up in this one
as well? The guy from Fight. Yeah. And
yeah,
Guy
Fight, yeah.
in the series.
So I feel like
well,
this did so much.
Yeah, and then later in Street Fighter Alpha 3, they introduced Cody to.
I think this game was a massive step forward in regards to how we see the Street Fighter games now, because obviously to bring a few extended Street Fighter lore characters in, but then also characters from other other Capcom games. You know, I know eventually I had things like Marvel versus Capcom, you know, around this time as well, but I think this is like, here we go, the first little baby step to break away from the Street Fighter 2,
and
you know, focus 16
for me,
characters.
I think Alpha 2 and
this.
3 are still my absolute favorite Street Fighter games. I can't choose between them because I think Alpha 3 Alpha 3 at home, anyway, when you play at home, big world tour mode and things, which is really good. And I don't think Street Fighter's done anything close to as good as that since. And I know Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is what everyone thinks is the gold standard. I still prefer Alpha 2 and Alpha to Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, but I love Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, the third favorite of the series. But
I feel like the Alpha series was like known for offering more at the time. I mean, I remember getting one of them on Game Boy Advance with Zangief on the cover.
that's
I
Alpha
think.
3.
Hang on, am I making
It's
this
Alpha
up? I
3.
don't
Alpha,
think-
they
Really?
there was the British
Christ.
studio, was it Crawfish? They did a port of Street Fighter Alpha to the Game Boy Color. And it wasn't crap. It was
Wow.
actually really competent. So you had different, so you push the button slightly to get light kicks, and then push it all the way down to get hard kicks and punches.
Mad, isn't it? Like how many great
Well,
studios we
Crawfish were the
had.
ones who were going to
who
do Resident
really
Evil.
knew how to
They
do it.
managed to port Resident Evil to Game Boy Color, but it wasn't ever released. And I think they did a Game Boy Advance game as well. I can't remember which one. Anyway, that's by the by. Street Fighter Alpha arcades, absolutely
Let's
fantastic.
move into
In the
news.
news, 20th of June, Arsenal give me a birthday present by paying a British record fee of £7.5 million to Inter Milan for Dennis Bergkamp, who went on to become quite the legend
Yes.
at our club.
I know, and the thing is, we talked about this on Facebook quite a bit. It's crazy that this is 30 years ago now, but I was away on holiday, and as we've talked about before, back then you had teletext for your sports news, or you'd just be rapidly waiting for, well, counting down the hours to get the
Or
sports pages in the
What
various
I did,
rags.
which got me into a lot of trouble with my mum.
Go on.
I rang the hotline.
Well, you
Yeah.
rang up us tip lines,
And I
didn't
ran
you?
up
Oh,
stupid amount
God.
of money end of every day. I was like calling to see, because it was after 6, when calls were meant to be cheaper. Do you remember? I'll be like,
Yeah.
I'll be there listening
Yes,
in,
I do.
and it'll be like, if you want to hear about Arsenal's pursuit of, press 1, and she'll be there going, oh, I've got to hear about this. And then it was got really slick.
Gotta hear. Georgie Weah's going to sign. Georgie Weah's going to sign for Villa,
Yeah.
or stuff like that. And it was such an exciting time because remember, this was before you had a load of foreign players in the Premiership. So it'd be like, oh, Brian Roy has gone to Forest, and everything like that. You're like, ooh, who did he play for?
Yeah.
And like, these are the sort of ones
Do you
that were
remember
so
Stuart Pearce,
exciting.
like saying that Dennis Bergkamp wouldn't make it in the Premier League? Yeah.
I know quite a lot of people did, because remember,
Yeah, I
he
know,
did
but
score for a
they're,
few matches, and it was like 7.5 million for him. And then you think they had him
Yeah,
for
exactly.
over a decade.
Fuck everyone else. Anyway,
Yeah,
Dennis Bergkamp, club legend.
honestly,
yeah,
amazing.
and I adore that man. I would let him father my children. On the 22nd of June.
And over.
Yeah, on the 22nd of
No,
June,
go
in
on,
an attempt
sorry.
to reassert his authority, John made the Conservative Party, not as Prime Minister, which triggered a leadership election, which didn't go too well. On the 28th of June until the 26th of August, 1995, Great Britain and Ireland have a heat wave, the driest summer in recorded English history, with an average of 66.9 millimeters. And also the third hottest of 17.30 Celsius. So pretty warm. I don't
recall this.
It did
I don't
last
recall
for
this.
2 months apparently. Oh no, wait, I would have, because I remember because I knew that Sega and I wanted to earn money to buy one. So I worked in a building site for the summer holidays, just carrying bricks on my back, not like raw on my back. I had like a big thing that I held up with the bricks and did that.
A hod.
Thank you. I was a hod carrier. And yeah, I did that for the summer.
Yes.
There's a builder. One of my friend's dads was a builder, so we both worked for him for the summer. And I got £1,000 cash at the end of the summer. I know, 6 weeks I did that for.
That's amazing.
And I do remember it being hot as hell every bloody day while I was out in the thing. I came back to school in September and I had like the best tan out of everyone in my school. It does help that I am quite dark skinned anyway. But yeah, I came back and I was looking good. Anyway, so that is 1995 wrapped
Yes.
up. We'll have a quick break and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the year 5. Hello, welcome back to the year 2005. Paul, what are you wearing in 2005?
2005. Well, probably Game Station uniform. I spent so much time there at the time. So this quite nifty grey Game Station polo shirt with blue jeans
Nice.
and trainers. Yes, I spent most of my time. I was in the height of playing games still in my Game Station era. So yeah, good times. Although looking at the films we got coming up in a minute, yeah, some of those I've got
So
thoughts
I
on.
would have been wearing some like combat trousers, not the camouflage ones, but you know the others. Yeah,
I know what you
with
mean.
some Converse trainers, probably a black or navy blue t-shirt with one of those straps. You know those people would wear on their wrists, those big like leather straps on one wrist, and then a watch on my other wrist. And
Yes.
I was constantly dyeing my hair at the point into different colors. So I think in 2005 my hair would be a purpley blue color.
And you've kept your hair as well,
mate,
so
I
you've
still
not
have a
done
full
so
head of hair.
bad.
Yeah,
Have you?
I am blessed with my hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, I was dyeing my hair quite a lot back in the days. And yeah, I was purpley blue in June 2005. So yeah,
And then we had a trip
we
to
did
Sin
on the
City
3rd of
with your new
June.
haircut. And your
3rd
new,
of June. So
yes.
this was directed by Robert Rodriguez and
Hmm.
Frank Miller, the comic writer of the original. Starring. No,
You like it?
no, I don't.
Sorry,
I don't
I know.
like this
I know.
movie.
I'm just
I
jumping
don't
forward.
think.
No, because
I think
I
it's
don't.
crap.
I don't.
It's got. Yeah, I think it's very
it's very
overrated. It's got a
overrated.
fantastic cast. With just.
And it
Oh,
looks
it's a stunningly
great.
shot movie, but it is my least favorite of Robert Rodriguez's movies. I like the
First
Spy
Spy
Kids.
Kids.
Like they're fun and entertaining, right?
What,
Sin
all of
City
them?
is not fun or entertaining.
Yeah.
It's just bleak as fuck. And none of the characters are likable in any way, shape, or form.
No, I think. Do you know what? That sums it up fully. But there's nothing. I've only ever watched this film once.
I think Brittany
like
Murphy
20
and
years
Jessica
ago.
Alba are really good in the movie. I think Benicio del Toro is passable, but it's a bit hammy in it. Clive Owen is very Clive Owen. Like he just plays the same Clive Owen character that he plays in every movie he's ever.
Yeah, that's just it. There's no one that I'm really bothered about. But even like, they made a big deal of having Mickey Rourke in it, playing Marv and stuff. And it's just style over substance. God, yeah, that sums it up. No, I'm glad I'm not the only one who just does nothing for.
Oh, as a piece of
remember,
cinema,
I did buy it on
it's absolutely beautifully shot. The cinematography is beyond reproach. Right, it's just stunning. Every shot is meticulous. It's so well crafted as a visual movie. But you put anything into the script, any sort of criticism, and it is just falls apart. It's so poor, and it's like there's no one likable whatsoever. Yeah, it's not for me. Sorry.
No. I agree.
Yes,
The next one, though, I've got
on the
better
16th of June,
memories of.
again, just before Chris's birthday, before he turned 26, Batman Begins. So this was Christopher Nolan's debut movie as the Batman director. He's done movies before as a Batman. But this was his first of 3 Batman movies. And this one was
Yes.
Yeah,
The first of
this
the
one
Nolan
starred
trilogy.
Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Liam Neeson, Katie Holmes, who was kidnapped by Tom Cruise afterwards and that was replaced. Gary Oldman, Cillian Murphy, Tom Wilkinson, Rutger Hauer, Ken Watanabe, and Morgan Freeman. I mean, holy cast.
Yes.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just one of the best comic book movie cast you could ever put together.
It was brilliant because Batman needed a good
After
return.
Batman and
You know,
Robin.
this is
Yeah.
8 years. This is 8 years. Yeah. So it's 8 years on. Obviously, we'd had our gritty Batman films. Batman films. You know, I love obviously Burton ones. And Batman Forever is watchable. But then obviously everyone was moaning that you need Batman Dark and everything. So going back to the origins and everything like that, and seeing, you know, the early days of Bruce Wayne, and then obviously
Well, his
becoming
training with Ra's al
Batman,
Ghul as well, right?
and having
Which is funny because Ra's al
yeah,
Ghul is a Northern
that's what I'm
Irishman,
about to say.
as apparently Liam Neeson only knows how to do a
Liam
Northern Irish
Neeson.
accent. But yeah, so you do see a lot of the training with Ra's al Ghul, which is very The Man Who Fell or Falls, the comic book that's in, and then you've got lots of Batman Year One and The Long Halloween in this.
Yeah. This is what I mean. I feel like it's almost like so much fan
Yeah,
service put into this, and we're talking like key stories, you know, put into. And I tell you what, I bet it's only just over 2 hours long. I don't think it's too much longer than that. Maybe two
yeah,
and a half at max. But it didn't. It
no,
didn't
but
tip the
they
three
put a lot
hours.
into this movie, and the thing is, they set up a lot. They set up the
Yeah,
universe for it,
exactly.
right, as well, which is really well done. I thought, as like Christian Bale as Batman, you can't really. I don't think Batman is a character you can sort of judge an actor on, but it's the alter ego of Batman that you can sort of judge the actor on. And I think his portrayal as Bruce Wayne, who
Yeah,
he does play up that playboy angle, and he is very free with the money and things like that. You know, I think he does a really good Bruce Wayne, and the relationship between Bruce Wayne and in it is fantastic. So Michael Caine does a really, really good Alfred, a completely different Alfred to anything we've ever seen in any other of Alfred. And yeah, I
yeah,
really liked that
yeah,
pairing of Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne and then as with Michael Caine as Alfred. They were fantastic with each other. The Batman character, you know, it's just do a gruff voice and you know, beat up people. I don't think it's always about the Bruce Wayne for me side of things, which is where I really like Michael Keaton as where his role when his run as Batman, because he was really good as Bruce Wayne. Whereas I think, you know, Val Kilmer and George Clooney were absolutely bloody awful as Bruce Wayne. Uh,
No, I'm with you there. And like I say, well, like you just said, that's one of the hardest parts to obviously have Bruce Wayne as
yeah,
an interesting
but that's the
character.
thing, because by the time you get
And we've also
to
got,
Rises, right, like that Bruce Wayne
yeah,
you've now
yeah.
come to like more than Batman. Do you know what I mean? Whereas
Well, that's what I was starting to get to, because you've built everything up over 3. So this is like the
yeah,
first part of this trilogy, and then you've got the, you know, with Morgan Freeman as
mm,
is it Lucius Fox off the top of my head. You know, so you've obviously got new gadgets, you've got a new Batmobile, you know, so you've got all these sort of like, okay, we're bringing Batman back, and there's going to be certain beats that we're going to hit, and you're going to like this. They've got such the right
yeah,
mixture for this. Honestly, I've enjoyed all 3 of the films. You know, obviously there are high points in
yeah,
some compared to others. You know, people say Dark Knight is a lot better, but I feel like this did so well, you know, at building up the character. So if you'd never seen a Batman film, you knew nothing at all about Batman, granted you wouldn't get as much out of it, but you could follow it. And I think that's what
yeah,
Nolan
and
does
I
well,
think that's
you know, because he's made smaller films as well at that time. It wasn't just all about
yeah,
Inception and everything. Remember, he's coming off the likes of that following, what's it called?
Memento.
That one with Memento, but also the one after with
Oh,
Robin Williams and
it's set in,
it's set in the ice. I always
Insomnia.
forget.
Yes, that's it.
Insomnia. Yeah, yeah. So he's coming off the back of things like
Commando,
that, much smaller films, but he's working with some amazing actors. And then to give him, like, Warner Brothers giving him going, right, there you go, there's your Batman films. You need to see all of them, and they just build up. And you're also seeing his filmmaking progress as well. But it's got so many, sort of like
Yeah.
people scenes. So like you say, seeing the training, seeing him interact as Bruce Wayne and everything. But it's also still got
Well, this
some
is what I
action
mean.
bits
You
in as
see,
well. And obviously having the Scarecrow.
this is what I mean, right?
I really do like it. I
But
really,
he
really like
gives
this.
up being Bruce Wayne, right? So Bruce Wayne is the character, right? He's not who he is. He is Batman, okay? And you don't feel that in any of the other Batman movies. You just feel that he is also Bruce Wayne. You always go, yeah, Batman is Bruce Wayne and Bruce Wayne is Batman. But in this one, it's just like the Batman plays Bruce Wayne because he's no longer, because you see that with the training stuff with Ra's al Ghul, that he no longer is that person.
Yeah.
He is not Bruce Wayne anymore. He has become this ninja, this Batman, and I think the way that's done is so fantastic. But the only times you get Bruce Wayne is with Alfred. He's still that little boy with Alfred. He's not that man who's got to protect everyone, who's got to avenge people. He is a boy when he's with Alfred, because his tone changes when he talks to him. He's more subdued and he's more willing to listen to Alfred. Yeah. And I love that.
100%, because that's his
And his
innocence.
innocence is
That's
with
his
Alfred.
innocence.
Yeah.
He's playing the character
Exactly.
of billionaire playboy. He's
Yeah.
playing the character as Batman, but then it's a case of like, because obviously he's a loner. You see bits of that with Michael Keaton in the first Batman film. Because you see, like when he's getting close to, say, Vicky Vale or whatever, you'll see in bits where he just like, retreats to the Batcave just to watch things on his screen. He's not really one for parties. So he'll put on that sort of, big show type thing where it's like, yes, I'm Bruce Wayne of Gotham
the
City.
moments with
blah,
Katie
blah, blah,
Holmes as well. When he's with her, he's very like, he wants to reach out to her as Batman, not as Bruce Wayne. Do you know what I mean? He's like, I want you to know who I am. I want you to be with me, but I can't let you get close. And so then he has to put on the other side of him, which is the Bruce Wayne persona, and push her away. And it's heartbreaking to think of that.
It was the best Batman film since obviously I'd probably say the first one. I still love Batman '89,
but I think
I'd say this
did more.
Yeah, I
this did
class
more
this
to
as
create
close to it.
The Batman on the big screen than any other.
Yeah, because
Batman movie. Because it wasn't afraid to just sort of go, no, they are not the same person, right? It's literally, when Batman is Bruce Wayne, he is playing Bruce Wayne. He is not Bruce Wayne. The only time he's Bruce Wayne is when he's with Alfred. And there's the way that Alfred, I think it's it's in the second movie, isn't it, where he's really worried about Bruce Wayne. And that's the other thing with it. Alfred doesn't see Batman. Alfred sees Bruce Wayne. And
because obviously he's been his butler, the family's butler, his entire not his entire life, but a lot of it.
Paternal instinct over him. He's like, he may not be my son, but I brought him up.
And it is his duty to look after him.
It's so good.
It's
that
great.
dynamic between those. We haven't even spoken about the villains, other than like he trained with Ra's al Ghul. But it's so good. And I think, like we say, Christian Bale's portrayal as Batman, I will say, was absolutely fantastic, because he was playing Bruce Wayne. It's so good. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant movie. Anyway, But I will just
Well, we
want
better
to
move
give a
on.
quick
I
shout
know
out
we.
to Tom Wilkinson, because I thought Tom Wilkinson as Falcone was
Yes, about to say
yeah,
he's like a
absolutely
gangster in it,
brilliant.
isn't
And
he?
R.I.P.
Yeah,
Tom Wilkinson.
yeah. That's what I mean. Lots and lots of good character actors in this film
Absolutely.
as well. In these, because you've got your A-list stars, you've got a bloody strong B-list as well.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. You know, it's like in is it? I think it's in the second film, so Dark Knight. You've got William Fincher, who was in Prison Break. He's like in the bank as a bank manager who tries to set the alarm, I think.
Yeah. I know.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you'll
I
know
what you mean,
exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
You know,
Such good.
but yeah.
Anyway, so next,
Moving on.
on the 18th
What
of
is,
June, which
yeah.
came out a good 14 months after its American debut, Mean Girls. I
Not watched
watched
for a
it
long
this
time,
week
a
to
very,
get a
very long
refresh
time.
on it, because I was like, is it still as good as I remember? And you know what? It is still as good as I remember. So this is Lindsay Lohan is getting homeschooled in Africa by her parents, who were working in Africa doing missionary work and things like that. And the mum gets a job in America, so Lindsay Lohan has to start school, and she befriends two sort of outsiders, but then the Mean Girls, led by Rachel McAdams, and who are they're like popular, you know, those sorts of people that you want to be friends with, but you don't, but you kind of have to survive school. And so she sort of infiltrates them, but then starts becoming a mean girl herself, and then things all start to unravel as she starts losing, you know, it's a very funny movie, but very hearty movie as well. You know, there's a lot of heart in it. Amy Poehler's fantastic as the mum of Rachel McAdams, and she's always trying to be like cool mum.
Yeah, it was done
And Tina
by
Fey is the
Tina
teacher.
Fey
Yeah.
as well. Because it was
Yes,
written
Tina
by
Fey
Tina
wrote the
Fey,
screenplay.
wasn't it, as well?
Yeah. And yeah, I think it's absolutely brilliant.
So these are decent comedy people with Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, because them two are like the mates as well.
The
And
only
obviously they
unbelievable
both
thing
did,
is they're all meant to be
30
16,
Rock.
where, you know, these women were all pushing 30 when they were doing this. Yeah. But it's fantastic. It's so good. You can watch it on Disney, I think it's on. I think that's where I watched it.
Yeah,
That's
I've not seen it for a long time. I always tell Ella, our daughter, not to be a mean girl when she gets older. You know.
So next, we have
Anyway.
Kung Fu Hustle on the 24th of June. Again, coming nearly a year, well, 6 months after its release in Hong Kong, and then America a few months later than that as well.
Never seen this. Didn't fancy it when it came out. I had a mate who really, really liked it, and I think he imported it on DVD.
It's a decent martial arts comedy film.
That seems to ring a bell.
It's like Shaolin Soccer style. Have you seen Shaolin Soccer?
Yeah, see, stuff like that. Just I tried to watch Shaolin Soccer, you know, but I just couldn't get into it. I'm very, very not interested in many martial arts films. It took me up until 2020 to watch Karate Kid.
The Karate Kid?
You know, and if the Karate Kid, yeah. Any of the Karate Kid films. It took us to 2020. It was the same with Rocky. There were certain, like, you know, martial arts, sports, films like that just don't interest me. It's like more action, comedy,
I don't like horror.
You know, and the odd drama.
So I'll never watch them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we won't dwell too much on that. It's a good, fun Hong Kong movie.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to music then. Singles. There's one number one in the UK for the whole of June, and that's XLF by Crazy Frog. Yeah, destroying a classic song by just going bung bung in it. So yeah.
It's like he was in the room with me. It still gets played now because, do you know, when you go to, right, and you'll remember this because obviously you've got young children like me as well. When you go to,
just to clarify, none of my children are like you.
I'm going to say places like Blackpool.
But
no, I know.
Like you do,
but
you have young children.
It's like when you set off, Yes, sorry. You set off these plastic bits of tat, and one of them was like a bit of an air horn that played Crazy Frog, Axel F. And luckily, when the batteries ran out, it went in the bin because it absolutely sent me mad. In fact, I think that was bought on a trip to Blackpool. Christ. This episode is sponsored by Horrible Blackpool Memories.
Albums.
Let's move on.
No,
Let's just
albums
move on
in
now.
June were Feel Gooding by Gorillaz, which it has some really good tracks on. I
Could
like
not
that
give a shit
album. I thought it
about
was
them.
pretty good. Good songs.
Yeah. No.
I think Dare is probably my favorite. Um,
Yeah, with what's he
yeah,
called from Happy
yeah.
Mondays? Sean Ryder.
Then you've got
Yeah.
You're Beautiful by James Blunt, his debut album, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with James Blunt, I love obviously he can take the piss out of himself. I watched the documentary
Yeah.
that was on Netflix with him when he released his best of a few years ago. We put out a tweet saying, "Oh, did you dare spot on his best James Blunt for the entire weekend in work?" And he retweeted it and said, "Working conditions at Wigan HMB are about
I
to
do like that he
take a
can take the piss out of
nosedive,"
himself.
and
And
retweeted
I
it.
do remember when someone
yeah.
tweeted about his greatest hits album as well, and he retweeted them saying, "God, it's not going to take long," because they were saying about, "Oh, I'm going to listen to it or something on the car journey." It won't take long, which is funny, you know. It's
Yeah, I
a bit
know.
of self-deprecation. I like that.
No, I think that's what you want because the thing is, what I liked about him, and I didn't know this, like when it was the documentary, it was only on a couple of years ago. He's kept the same band members as
Okay.
well. You know, like, because he's got that loyalty and everything like that. And because he was like ex-army and quite posh, you know, like he's interviewing his parents as well. But he's like on the road, it was actually really, really funny. You know, I was like,
Yeah,
fair enough. You know,
I
and
think he
all
sounds like a
credit
decent
for that
guy.
when he goes this bloody
Yeah.
song. Yeah, I think that's just it. I'd love to have a chat with him. So at the time, I still don't like that song. I like the song on the same album, Wise Man or
Oh
Wise
yeah,
Men.
yeah, yeah.
Um, you know, something by a semi by the
Yeah.
sea. I think we're on about the
My
semi house and not a
favourite
semi erection.
moment of any of his songs is the song "Goodbye, My Lover" when Michael Scott's listening to it in the office. Um,
Yeah.
and
Oh god, yeah.
Dwight says, "Why don't you just buy the single?" And he's like, "Why? When I can listen to the best part for free." Yeah, because back in the old days
yeah. Yeah.
on Amazon, when you could buy singles and things like that, you could pre-listen to a bit of the song. You get like 30 seconds of the song. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
30
yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
That to me is my everlasting memory. I do like James Blunt though as a
Yeah.
person. He seems good.
It's not a terrible
No.
song, that Goodbye My Lover either,
Bye, my
to be fair.
lover.
Anyway.
Goodbye, my friend.
Anyway.
That's my Michael Scott doing James Blunt there. Yeah. Anyway, so let's move on to TV, and it was actually bang a month for television in the UK. So on the
Yes, yeah.
starting on
I
the
know all of
3rd
these.
of June on Channel 4 is 8 out of 10 Cats, which I think we can all agree, which, you know, still going as 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because they always
yeah.
do all the spin-offs, the crossovers. It's not something I've really got into.
Well,
I've
I
seen
wasn't a
odd
massive
ones and
Jimmy
stuff,
Carr
but
fan at
not
the
something
time.
that...
You know, I think he's grown on me, but he still annoys me. But it was Sean Locke was the reason I started watching this, because I really liked his 15 Stories. Have you seen 15
Yeah,
Stories?
I've not, but my mate Liam says I should have watched that because when he died, everyone said, you need to
Oh,
now watch
15
15
Stories is
Stories. No, he's
so good. I
dead.
watched that back in the day when it was on. And yeah, he and Benedict Wong play flatmates, and it's just so good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
can't speak highly enough of that show. You've got to watch it, because I can't go into it because you haven't watched it, but you have to watch it. It's so good.
No, I know. I've
So
never
good.
heard a bad
I think you
thing.
can watch the whole of it on YouTube, because
If that is true, maybe that's
I'm pretty
my
sure I've seen it
chance.
on there. I haven't watched it on there. I haven't watched it for years, but I remember watching it at the time. And Sean Locke might be the funniest person I've ever seen. And then I started watching stand-up things. Okay, yeah, Sean Locke is the.
Is it going with this? 15 stories high? No. No, it's not. Oh, God. Right. Hang on. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
15 stories
We
high.
always forget the high bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. No, I thought it was just called
Yeah,
15
I always thought it
stories.
was
That's how I
15
was like, is
stories,
it
yeah.
this? But yeah, first couple of
Okay.
episodes.
Yeah.
God, 17 years ago. Yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah,
let's give me something to watch
that. It's
later.
fantastic.
Okay,
Yeah, but
excellent.
like I say, I really enjoyed watching 8 out of 10 cats. 8 out of 10 cats because of Sean Locke. Like every single week,
Yes.
he would just leave me crying.
He
Just
come up with
like
something really
no
funny.
other comedian
Yeah.
makes me cry the way he does with laughter. Yeah, and he does it.
It was a
Oh
big
my
deal when
god,
he
wasn't it?
died, you know, because everyone. It
Yeah,
was like with Rick Mayall as well. There's certain people who, and there's not many, who no
no,
one ever has a bad word to say. And he's one of those where like when he passed it, it's like, oh, you know, shit. Like thing as well. Was it Sean Hughes as well who used to finger? I'm sure. Oh, it wasn't Sean
he
Hughes.
did. Yeah,
Sean Hughes
yeah,
died as well,
sadly
didn't he?
from Nevermind Podcast.
Yeah,
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 yeah, another good
yeah,
comedian.
yeah. And the other guy from oh Christ, whose line is it anyway? Tony, not Hancock, not Tony. God, it's going to come to me. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, we're just
So
talking about dead
but also on
comedians.
the show, Dave
Yeah.
Spikey,
Anyway,
Jason Manford, John Richardson, Rob Beckett, Aisling B, and Catherine Ryan. So yeah, and obviously it's still going this year anyway, with 8 out of 10 Cats Starts Countdown. But yeah, very good show, very funny panelist show. Then on the 5th of June on BBC Two, Mock the Week premiered, which was presented by Dara Brian and Hugh Dennis,
which
who's on every episode.
I loved
And this is
this.
also very funny. You also had people like Andy
Yes.
Parsons, Frank Boyle, Rory Bremner, Russell Howard, Chris Addison, Angela Barnes. It was so good. And this ran until, was it 2022? So 21 season ran for
Yeah.
in the end.
I probably stopped watching it probably mid naughty. No, not mid naughty, sorry. Probably about like the mid tens. So probably about 2015. But I just remember, you know, it's one of those comedy shows for quite a while that I actually looked forward to and want to watch it live rather than
Yeah.
record it or anything like that. Because you used to get
Yeah,
Ed Byrne on it
Burns
quite a lot
was
as
on
well.
it.
Who quite
John Oliver was
liked,
on it a couple of
you
times
know.
as well.
Yeah.
Joe
Yeah. Yeah.
Brand,
It was always good because
David
it
Mitchell.
was just
Yeah,
looking at the
there's Sue
headlines that
Perkins.
week, you know, with what was going on. A bit like a sillier version of of bloody hell, what was it called? That's just finished again. That's been going on forever. The long running comedy show with Ian Hislop. Why is it not coming to my
Have I
head?
got news for you? And you were thinking of Tony
Yes,
Slattery, by the way.
yes. So it's a bit of a sillier version of that. Yeah, right, yeah. Tony Slattery, thank you. Yeah, he had a lot of nice things said about him. Yeah, so it was like more of a silly version of that because I loved it where Dare O'Brien was a fantastic host. The fact that you obviously talked about the news stories that week, but what I loved, because he had some really, really good comedians, was just basically this was very much like Whose Line Is It Anyway? You know, where it's like we've just got to go and quickly do a quick
Yeah.
one-liner. Or it'd be like things that you'd say in a restaurant, you know, and we'd just be
Things
seeing
you
you
can
come up with
say
the
during
funniest,
sex
quickest
and eating a
lines.
good meal.
And yeah, so that sort of thing. And Hugh Dennis, I was aware of from, you know, Punt and Dennis and Mary White Test Experience. So I was like, fair enough, you know. And he's done like a lot of good
Yeah.
writing as well, you know, like a lot of comedy stuff on the radio. And you soon got to your favourites because obviously we had Hugh Dennis, we had Andy Parsons most weeks as well, who eventually grated on me because of how he spoke in this like same monotonous tone. But then like when your favourites on, so like people like Ed Byrne, you're like, yes, you know, I'm going to get some really good jokes, you know, and they're quick and witty and I don't know, it just worked really well, you know.
It was a good show.
But
Yeah,
I stopped
it was a good
watching it
show.
eventually.
Moving on,
Yeah.
games.
So
We
moving
had
on.
game. Oh no, we don't. We have more TV shows to talk about. Sorry. We had on Channel 4 on the 7th, we had Sugar Rush.
About the
Yes,
lesbian
yeah,
teenage couple,
yeah,
I think. I seem to remember. Yeah.
Well,
Didn't
she
watch
was
it. Based on a
infatuated. There
book,
weren't a
I
lesbian
think.
couple, so she
No?
was infatuated with a girl called Sugar, who was straight, and the show is based around that
Right,
infatuation which she
okay.
had with her. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I
So, yeah,
remember
I
this.
remember
I
a couple
didn't
of them, but
watch
Andrew
it, but
Garfield's in
I
it
think
as
we did
well.
2 series.
Yeah,
Really? God,
yeah,
that must
he's
be
in
an
it
early
early
role for
on.
him.
So yeah, he's the next door neighbour of the main character. Yeah, yeah. See,
Okay. But yeah,
have I ever told
no,
my
not one that
Andrew
I ever
Garfield
watched.
fact on this podcast? So
Go
I
on.
grew up in the south of England, in a place near Guildford in Surrey, and I used to go for swimming
Yes.
lessons at the weekends, evening to do my the more advanced badges. And my swimming instructor's
Yeah.
surname was Garfield and was American, because I remember thinking that's hilarious that he's named after a cat. Um, Back when this is when I was like, I think I started it when I was 8, and my swimming instructor for like 3 years or so. And yeah, and then I found out Andrew Garfield's dad was a swimming instructor at Guildford. So yeah,
Hey.
Andrew Garfield's
Oh my
dad
God.
was my swimming instructor for 3 years. 6 degrees of Chris Smith. There we go.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
actually
isn't it?
crazy.
What a small world. But yeah, and he's a fellow gooner as well,
Yeah.
Garfield. So there we go.
Oh, there we go.
We're meant to be friends, but
Right.
we're just
So,
never going
what
to
have we
cross
got
paths.
next?
And yes, so next we have House. So a show that was in America at the end of 2004 came to the UK on Channel 5 on 9th June. And this was the American medical drama which starred as the Dr. House.
Never watched this at all. Obviously, I knew Hugh Laurie. I was trying to say I knew Hugh. Fuck, I still can't say. I knew who Hugh Laurie was. God
Some big
Almighty!
actors
Sound
went
like an
through the
idiot
show
trying
as
to
well,
say
like
that.
Omar Epps and Olivia Wilde.
And
Yes,
Jesse,
Jesse
someone who
Spencer.
used to be in
Yeah,
Neighbours. Jesse Spence.
yeah,
There we go.
yeah.
Or Spencer, like Spencer. God, look at that. My Neighbours knowledge shining
So
through
yeah,
there.
that was the opening theme was Teardrop by Massive Attack. So yeah. But yeah,
Good
it's quite good.
choice.
I didn't watch it religiously. Whenever I was bored and there was nothing else on, I would watch it and enjoy it. And just because Hugh Laurie was so watchable, as you would expect from being so awesome. So next, games in 2005. So first off, we have Battlefield 2 on the PC. Now this was huge as a game on the PC. Battlefield obviously came out and massive huge multiplayer game, and the Battlefield 2 made things a bit more modern because the older ones were set in the earlier wars, and this was a more modern combat-y version
Yeah.
of that. And yeah, it was just absolutely massive. Everyone I knew who was into gaming was playing Battlefield 2 on PC. Even people who didn't play PC games getting their PCs like up and running to be able to run this one. So yeah, it was absolutely massive. I didn't play it until it came out on Xbox, but I did enjoy it.
Never got into shooters. I've said before, I'm just too
Well, this
slow
one
with
for me, I
reflexes.
really enjoyed when I played it
You
on
know,
60, but it obviously isn't a version which was out in 2005. 360 was 7, 2006.
I think at the time I'd still be playing like Halo 2, on my
I think
original
Battlefield 2 did come to
Xbox.
the original Xbox
I'd
as well,
try
and
and get good at
PS2.
that.
But I think they were different to the PC version, whereas obviously Battlefield 2 on the Xbox 360 was much closer. But then also,
Well, you're thinking we're
yeah,
coming up to that now anyway, aren't we? Like the Xbox
I know I
360's
can't wait to
out
do the
end of
episode
the
on that.
year.
Yeah,
That sounds absolutely insane,
I
doesn't
know.
it? 2005.
Batman
Anyway,
Begins on
what's
the Xbox,
next?
GameCube, and PS2. This was EA. published game.
Mm.
I think it was from Eurocom, the developer, who did the 007 World Is Not Enough game on the N64,
I only
and
played this for a
GoldenEye
bit.
remake that came out later on the Wii. I played the demo that came with the official PlayStation magazine, and that was enough. That was enough for me. It was not fun.
Yeah, no, it's not a good game because I borrowed this from Game Station when we got it traded in. I was like, right, I'm just taking it to play overnight, and yeah, it really, really wasn't great at all. I think I probably played it for about an hour or
It's longer
so,
than me.
but you didn't get too many good, film tie-ins because
Well,
around
you
the
got Spider-Man
same
2 the year
time,
before.
you got things like the Fight Club game. Yeah, but you're not going to get many, are you? The sort of like, well,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
Warriors as well,
but
quite
that was a
close
very
to this.
long gap between movie to licensed game.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's yeah, but Warriors. Oh,
So
game. Anyway, yeah, Batman Begins. Don't bother.
Destroy All
You're not
Humans
missing
came out on the
anything there.
Xbox, PC, and PS2. I haven't played this. I heard lots of
I
good things,
struggle
but I've
playing
never
this.
played it.
No, I struggle playing it. Yeah. This is a series that over the years they have brought back quite a few times. It's like, so there's been quite a few Destroy All Humans games, and I'm sure there's still some currently, like on Switch and things, but no, just never done
Yeah.
anything for me. Just to be
Okay,
really
cool.
not
So let's
asked
move on
about
to the
this.
news now. On the 17th of June, the Ugandan-born Bishop
Yes.
of Birmingham, John Setamu, I hope that's how you pronounce his name, is named the new Archbishop of York. He is the first ever black person to be appointed as an Archbishop of the Church of England. So that's a pretty big history there. 23rd of June, Prince William, he graduates from the University of St Andrews. 24th, you don't care. So 24th of June, the IRA.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just did the partridge
The
shrug.
IRA apologises unreservedly to the to the family of Kathleen Fenny, whom they shot dead in London Derry, depending where you're from, in November 1973. The IRA had previously blamed the British Army for the, but turned out it was not.
Could you imagine getting that apology
I would say
30 odd years
you can't
on?
up your jackseat.
That's like,
26th
cheers.
of June, after 20 years, Channel 4 game show Countdown, Richard Whiteley dies at the age 61. He was, sadly passed then. That to me was that was a big loss
no
for
age
me,
that,
because
is it though, is it?
watched a lot of Countdown, as most students did, and that was a big shock when he passed. So we'll leave 2005 on that somber note, and we'll move to 2015 right after this. Hello, welcome back to the year 2015. Paul, I don't really, because fashion has not changed.
No, I think the sad thing is though, in 2015, so like I said, I've known you now 10 years, we were doing Maximum Power Up at this time as well. So I feel I could be dressed. I probably had this t-shirt the same amount of time that I'm looking down at it. I don't think my wardrobe's changed too much. Sometimes it's a different music t-shirt, a game t-shirt added, but I'd still dress the same.
2007, after
10
playing
years ago, God,
Uncharted, I
that's
started adding
tragic.
Henleys to my wardrobe. So I would have probably worn a Henley in 2015. There we go. So,
fair enough.
Movies, let's kick straight off then with
Let's get the
Spy.
movies.
I haven't got the dates for these for some reason. Did not date that. But they all came out in June. So that's all you need to know. So Spy came out. This was the Melissa McCarthy vehicle where she played an aspire, like she was desk jockey, wasn't she? And then she gets pulled into the actual field.
Oh God, no, I have seen this actually. I don't know. I don't because obviously it's sort of like action, well, more comedy with a little bit of action, isn't it? Because does she just pretend and she's like then realizes how far deep she's
Well,
got into
no,
this?
because she's like helping.
You know,
No,
is it
Jude
Jason
Law.
Statham?
So she's
No,
his support in the field from the desk, and then she gets pulled into the whole thing.
right.
And so she doesn't really mean to, but she gets like unexpectedly pulled into the world of spy. And then Jason Statham's there; he's another one of the spies. Yeah,
Oh,
and
he is in it then.
Rose
Right,
Byrne
right.
is
Okay.
fantastic. Uh, yeah, but it's a fun
This is
movie.
one of those
Yeah, it's a
watching
funny
the week
movie.
film.
It's not gonna like pull up any trees like this coming of Ferris Bueller's Day Off as a comedy, for an example. I'm just going to say, but it is decent entertainment if you've got nothing else to do. Jason Statham plays in character;
Yeah,
he plays in
it's
every
one of
movie.
those.
And Jude Law plays Jude Law, and but Rose Byrne and Melissa McCarthy are. But yeah, I think it's worth a watch if there's nothing else on and you kind of bored. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sums it up. It's one of those just an
yeah,
easy film to
exactly.
watch.
Next up, then we have
Right.
Jurassic World. So Jurassic Park 3 was the last movie in the Jurassic universe.
And that's 14 years before this, roughly. I'm sure it was
So
about
it's a long
2001.
gap between the movies. And this one stars Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, you've got Vincent D'Onofrio. Who else is it? Can't remember the other people.
Right. I've seen this film I've never seen it in the right order because it's always on like ITV3 or something like that. And I think, oh, I need to get it watched. I need to get it watched. And then it's never at the start. It's just part of the way through. Or then something else will come up and, I'll watch like 20 minutes of it at the start and then never finish the film. So I feel like I've got it in as a jigsaw
Well,
puzzle.
this is the one where
but
the park is operational, Jurassic World. Bryce Dallas Howard's nephews arrive, and she's meant to be looking after them, but she sends. But at the same time, the owner has authorized. I think it's got the same Asian actor in Jurassic Park, where he's an engineer in Jurassic Park. Anyway, so he is creating a species from scratch, but basically throwing all the DNA of lots of different dinosaurs in one, so that it can do like stealth cloaking of like a frog. Like the frogs can self camouflage like that, or there's these sorts of these animals that can just go invisible or just blend in with their surroundings. They're not just.
I think it's an age thing, Jurassic Park. Honestly, because obviously this is the first of a new trilogy.
This one,
at the time,
the Velociraptors, because Chris Pratt can talk to them and gets them to fight with him, and you're like, oh, Velociraptors are just like stone cold killers, and the other ones, like, you can't just tame them, but he tames the Velociraptors, which to me straight away I was like. So it's kind of tries to go back to how the original film was, but it's nowhere near.
It's nowhere near. It's
and
nowhere
Chris Pratt
near.
is not as
No,
likable
but then again,
as Sam Neill.
No chance. I mean, the thing is, as we're recording this, there's another Jurassic Park film coming out next week. That
Which is
Theo
Rebirth,
wants to watch.
so that's the
Like
fourth
he's
in the
8.
series.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's going to be like another new trilogy. I don't know. There's always going to be some kids that like dinosaurs. I think we've talked about this before. But I just think it's an age thing. Like when Jurassic Park first came out, everyone was like, "My God, this is amazing!" You know, brilliant CGI. Also some animatronic dinosaurs as well. Like you say, you had a absolutely a brilliant cast with Sam Neill. Uh, yeah, God, what's it called? Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like going, "This is fantastic," and with this one's with this, I think it's because I'm not bothered about any of the actors. I've said this so many times. If I don't
Well, I
like
like
any
Bryce
actors in
Dallas
it,
Howard. I
there's
think
nothing
she's pretty
drawing
good
me in.
actress. Like, she's good. I like her. Um, but
Yeah.
Chris Pratt
So
at this
no,
point
it's
had gone from I loved him in Parks and Recreation, and then
yeah, but I'd only just recently started watching that a few years ago because I just
but
battered them all.
I
Then
don't
all
like
the
him
parts and Mac.
since he started becoming the action hero. Like he's not a likable character and not a likable actor in those sorts of roles. Um, so yeah,
No, it's more a comedic one.
yeah. I mean, he
Or it
should
should
be
be
the fat
anyway.
comedy guy that he was in Parks and Recreation films before, but he went buff and lost all his charisma. C'est la vie, as they say. So
So
next
what have we
we
got next?
have Entourage, the movie. I've never
Right,
watched it.
I've
I
never
thought
watched
maybe you
this,
had.
never watched the
Uh,
show, and the film is meant to be absolutely
so
shit. I just remember Mark Kermode
so
ripping
let's move
into
on.
it. He was
Move on
so
because I
annoyed at
didn't watch
this.
the TV series and I didn't watch the
Yeah,
movie. So yeah,
yeah.
Entourage. If anyone liked it.
No.
So
Yeah, the TV series meant to be great, film meant to be awful. Mr. Holmes with Ian McKellen.
yeah, Mr.
Is this
Holmes
right?
with Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen. Yes, it's
Never
oh
watched
I've
it.
got
Never watched it, but it's still this has still been on my watch list for 10 years now because I loved the idea of
it's
what it's about.
I love this because well the thing is right for me my loves in life are Indiana Jones and Sherlock Holmes. Like anything Sherlock Holmes except those two awful Guy Ritchie movies. I will watch. Like I even watched. Do you remember Elementary with Johnny Lee Miller and Lucy Liu? Yeah, I even watched
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I never
I even
watched it, but
watched
I
that all the
remember it.
time because I love Sherlock Holmes so much. And yeah, I will watch anything with Sherlock Holmes. But this, I really like the idea of where you've got the old, retired Sherlock Holmes who's living, you know,
Yeah.
with his housekeeper still, but living like outside of London. Now living in Sussex and living in like
Yeah.
the country.
Yeah. So
You know,
yeah, no
yeah.
longer at Baker Street.
And yeah, and he's like he's kind of unhappy fictionalization of his last case. So he wants to write it in his own account. So yeah, he spends time with the son of his housekeeper. I can't remember the name. And he then like tries to like go through everything of how the case is and starts having flashbacks and yeah, it's like trying to redo that thing, that old mystery. Yeah, and
Great
it's
idea, this.
so good.
To bring back um like a much loved figure and then also put him into a different sort of scenario where you like it's almost end of life, that it's just talking about like his final days as a
Yeah, and
sleuth
that's the
type
thing.
thing.
And
But yeah, I think that's just it. That's what
he
appealed
is
to me.
so good. Like Ian McKellen is just like when he's absolutely top of his game, you cannot take your eyes off McKellen on screen. And he is so good in this. Like you just watch him and go, oh, I absolutely believe you as Sherlock Holmes. Like I absolutely
Yeah,
do. And the thing is,
yeah,
this film
yeah.
did, and this
I'm
film
gonna have to
got
watch
is
it.
like holds 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. You know, it didn't do very well in the box office,
Not bad at all.
but
Yeah, no, I know. But it's not the type of film people would go
no,
to
but
the
this came
cinema to
out on my
watch,
birthday
and jump
in
out to go
2015.
and watch it.
So I went to the cinema to watch this.
Right.
I went on my own as well. I took an afternoon work, didn't tell the now ex-wife about that, and yeah, and then went to watch that in the cinema before I went and did child pickup. But yeah, it was it is one of my favorite Sherlock Holmes. It probably is my favorite Sherlock Holmes movie, actually. Thinking about all the movies that I've seen Sherlock Holmes, but this is probably my favorite.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, not a bad choice there
it's
to
really
mention that.
good. I recently went to Baker
So,
Street. I went to the Sherlock Holmes Museum, and even though I know he's a fictional character, like still being in that house in Baker Street and being in there, I've been like, oh my god, this is like where he would have lived, you know. I love,
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
I adore anything about Sherlock Holmes. So that to me was a big one. My second favorite is the young Sherlock Holmes movie.
I was about to say, surely you like that. But the thing is, I've got that on DVD, but I've not shown it to Theo yet, mainly because it is
Oh yeah,
bloody
when the
scary.
cakes come to life and stuff.
Yeah, that the fact that you've got the what's it called? The blow
Oh
darts,
yeah,
the burning of bodies. There's the I know it looks a bit naff now, but the CGI Night 2 comes out of a stained glass
mm,
window. You've got all the hallucinogenic scenes because of those blow darts. You then got the Moriarty and Holmes
yeah,
fighting at the end because finds him. You've also got, because it's obviously like all Egyptian mummies as well, because you've got like the housekeeper who's
yeah,
like a bad guy, and she's wearing a wig because obviously all the bad guys have got like skinheads and stuff, and it just terrified me as a kid. But any time that was on TV, I'd go, I've got to record it again, and I'd not seen it for so long because it's out on Blu-ray as well now. But I think it's a great film. Barry
yeah.
Sonnenberg, I think it is. Like, one of his big early ones. But no, I really, really like. But I think when I'll probably wait about another year. Like when he's 9, I'll put it on because it's 80s PG, and 80s PG is usually like, yes, it's fine. The only thing is you've not got like decapitation or something, because like 80s PG had so many
Yeah.
horrifying scenes, especially when it's like an action adventure film where you're like going, oh my god, But yeah, I'm just glad to obviously mention that. So what have we got
Music.
for?
Here we go.
Oh God,
Here we
I've
go.
just seen
Music.
your list for music.
Um,
Ugh.
the number one single for the month was "Want to Want Me" by Jason Derulo.
Yeah, I've
I
heard
have
of him.
not, and I have not heard of that song. Albums: 88% Proof by Will Young. Yeah. How Big, How Blue.
Cool. But the thing is, no, I'm going to just say this about Will Young. The fact is, by this point, he'd had a 10-year
Yeah,
career in the charts. From Pop Idol or Pop
yeah, it was Pop Idol, wasn't it?
something.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so he's had 10 years because he came
No,
second
he
to, I think,
won.
Gareth
Gareth Gates
Gates.
came second. Yeah,
Oh, he won. Gareth
yeah,
Gates came
yeah.
second. Yeah.
So,
Who came first out of Gareth Gates and
oh dear.
Jordan?
Oh,
Sorry.
mate. At least you weren't mocking his disability.
Oh
Um,
dear.
How Big, How Blue.
I
How Big,
think. Oh
How
God,
Blue, How
yeah.
Beautiful by Florence and the
Oh God.
Machines. And
Yeah.
Drones, which
No, don't
is
like him.
by Muse, which pretty much sums up the album. I used to be a really big Muse fan for the first few albums. But
Yeah,
by this
same,
point,
same.
yeah, I've gone completely off them at this point. Television. So on the 11th of June on Channel 4, The Tribe. Things about it. No?
No,
On the
no, never,
14th of
never watched
June on
it.
Channel 4, Human.
Never
Yeah,
watched
I
it, but they
heard it
did a
was
few
good, but
series of
I've never
this
watched it.
because we've had it in work. Sci-fi.
Yeah,
It's a sci-fi type series.
but no, again, sorry,
Yeah,
sadly,
yeah,
listeners, I haven't seen this.
yeah.
Okay,
No,
so let's move into video games. We have 3 games in 2015. The first one, the biggest one, but not the best, is Batman Arkham Knight on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Batman Arkham Knight. So this is
the worst of the
the
Arkham
worst of the Arkham trilogy,
trilogy.
but
Would
still
you
a
say?
very good game. Marge,
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
no.
just not as good
So
as the other,
what I
Asylum
will
or
say is
City.
about this game, I enjoyed being in the Batmobile, but I didn't like all of the Batmobile challenges and stuff that you had to do in it. because like you would take
Yeah.
so much damage,
Yeah.
even though you're in like a tank, and it just became ridiculous hard.
Was
Well,
it
there's
Riddler
Riddler challenges,
challenges or
yeah,
something like
but there
that?
were actual challenges as well in the open world, be in the car to do the missions, and I
Yeah.
didn't like those.
Yeah.
But the worst
No.
thing about the game
No.
for me is after, so spoilers, when I played this, I would move forward, like 2 minutes, I'll just turn off because um, is after the game changes. So Gotham City becomes covered in like this mist from poison ivy that comes out that just like makes it completely
Yeah, I
impossible
remember
to
that.
go anywhere other than above ground, like high up on buildings and things like
Yeah, yeah, because you
that.
got to
Yeah,
use your obviously grappling hook and stuff, and just
and
go
after
over
that
the
point, like,
rooftops.
because before that you could just go around and just like do crimes and things like that on the side, but after that it just becomes so tedious that I didn't enjoy that part. But once you get rid of that bit, and then it becomes back to being Batman versus the Red Hood, who we always know who Red Hood is, don't we? It's Jason, and
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So yeah, unfortunately, this wasn't great. You could kind of also hear how like Kevin Conroy's voice was getting quite old as well in this one. Um, yeah, so it wasn't the best of the.
It's listen,
It's probably
it's
solid
not
stuff.
it's not
No,
like a terrible game. It's just because you're following up on
yeah.
two of the best. Because
Whereas
I
Asylum is
actually
very much,
played
yeah.
Asylum and
So I
City
played all
to the
three.
end, and
I
completed
completed all
them.
three. But the first one's very much a Metroidvania. Like, so you have to do X, Y, Z together. And then you
Yeah,
have this
yeah.
really good open city, but they don't force you to do stuff that you don't want to do. That's not fun, like the Batmobile. They make it a really
No, no, I think because I was like thinking, going, I know with Night it seems a lot more open world, but then I was like, but City was open world, but it
no,
wasn't as boring. And then I think that's just it, where it's like, honestly, with City, I spent so much time on that, and I
yeah,
actually enjoyed it, But I think with Night, it just seemed like
yeah.
a slog. And I've said to you so many times, if I can't get past like 10 hours of a game,
Well, I
it's never
completed
being
it,
finished.
and I think towards the end of
It's
the
just
game is
like,
actually really strong, but
mm,
it's just that bit where you can't do anything because of all that stuff over the city that makes it impossible to do anything. That just sucks the fun out of it. So you got to persevere to get through that part, to get the rest of the game. But then once you get the rest of the game, it's good. It's fine. It's just that horrible bit, and all the bits where you're falling back, they can do one. Anyway, so the second best game released this month is Yoshi's Woolly World. 2 months of games because we had Splatoon last month. But yes,
mm,
Yoshi's Woolly World. This was the one that was the Nintendo Direct where they were sitting in a yarn shop. And
yes, because it kills a massive yarn
yeah,
amiibo as
yeah.
well. Oh,
So there
it
were
could do.
different colors.
I've never played this, but
It's
it's a game I
really
want to
good.
play still because I
It's a
just feel
really
like it
lovely
looks
game.
fun.
It's got some lovely imagination. It's not the best Yoshi game. Still, Yoshi's Island. Still the best Yoshi game. But this,
What,
yes,
the
the
original
one
Yoshi's
on the
Island
Super
on
Nintendo. Yeah,
SNES? Yes.
yeah. It's still the best Yoshi game. But
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is a very, very good game. It's very fun. It's got beautiful animation. The way it looks woolly, I just love. I think you can get it on Switch. I think they did do a Switch version
Mm.
as well. But it is very good.
Possibly, because they did every other
Except
Wii
Star
U
Fox
game,
Zero.
didn't they?
They can keep
Yeah,
that there.
yeah.
Well,
Wonder what
it
deal is
relies
with
on
that.
2 screens.
Anyway, right, yes, so
But the
there,
best
there you
game
go.
released this month was a PC, iOS, and Her Story. This was from Sam Barlow, who's gone on to do multiple different games since then, which have all been of equal quality. He used to work for Climax Studios. He worked on Silent Hill, or not Origins. What was the one where? No, no,
Homecoming,
not Homecoming. The one
Homecoming.
with
No,
the one on the Wii. Yes, Shattered
Shattered
Memories.
Memories. No.
So
All right, yeah. We
Yes,
and PS2.
Yes, so this was
Yes, which now
so Her
sells for a
Story is an interactive
fortune.
movie game, right? And it's got 7 fictional police interviews. And the game begins, you're presented with an old
Yes.
desktop, and you can go through these and get the story. And then from that you can then work out what her story was, basically. Does that make sense?
See, no, it does, and it makes more sense now because I'd never heard of this up until about a month and a half ago. And I was watching that horror game documentary called Terabytes. So I interviewed the director, Richard Moss, who for Pixel Addict, and I also got to review the documentary. So obviously, I was watching the episodes of the show, and Sam Barlow was interviewed about this because they were talking about interactive storytelling. So we're talking about things like Seventh Guest as well and stuff like that, and how that sort of genre went away for a bit, and then it came back with things like Her Story, and what's it called as well, blah blah blah, Until Dawn, so it'd be like a lot more interactive. But when I saw this Her Story, and it was like obviously like what we used to have with Night Trap, I was like, oh wow, this looks
It is
interesting.
really good.
So yeah, it's quite a
It
new
is
one to me.
absolutely
This,
fantastic game. Yeah, if you can get it. I don't know if it came out on anything, but yeah, it
no, I
is. It
don't
is
think it
really good. I
did.
don't know if it's still on iOS. I played it on my old Android phone at the time. I only moved over to iOS in 2000. So yeah, I did just have it on my old Android. But yeah, really fun. Not really fun to play, but it is a really good game. Really well made. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's it for games this month. And we move on to the news. On the 2nd of June, this is not a serious collision on the Smiler ride at Alton Towers. People to be airlifted with injuries. The incident is one of the biggest
God, I
accidents
remember
ever
this.
to occur at Alton Towers, and the park is closed for several days after pending investigations. And I do remember this as well on the news and just thinking, oh my.
Yeah. Yeah. I read stories like this, though, Chris, and I go, I quite enjoy theme parks to a point. Like when we go to Disney or wherever, I do enjoy going on some of the big rides, but I can't let my mind think
Yeah,
there could be an
I
accident.
know.
Do you
Just
know
like
what I
getting on a
mean?
plane, right? It always got bad.
Yeah. Yeah. No. It makes sense.
And yeah, on the 3rd of June, Jo Cox gives her maiden speech in Parliament. Sadly, she would be killed less than a year later, when she was shot dead by an EDF member.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to something more
Yeah.
cheery.
On the 9th of June,
Oh.
HSBC, the world's largest bank, announces plans to cut 25,000 jobs worldwide, including 8,000 in the UK, as it wants to close branches. So that was huge. I remember that. Jesus Christ. Lot of people.
Yeah. I know. Let's look at
Okay.
something more positive.
Blimey. On 20th of June,
Oh God.
250,000 people take to the streets, such as London, Bristol, and Manchester, in demonstrations backed by the People's Assembly against austerity to protest against the UK government's austerity program. Sadly, the austerity is still going strong
Yeah.
now, in 2025 under a different government. And yeah, we still have austerity.
No.
So yeah, so that, remember, people, austerity is a choice. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not
Off
going
your
to say which.
soapbox.
I'm not
Let's
going to say,
keep it
oh,
light
you
and talk
you
about the
shouldn't be
next one.
following this and that. But I'm just saying, austerity is something that's absolutely crippled this country, and hasn't.
I know.
On the 28th of June, the 14th Dalai Lama made an appearance in 2015 Glastonbury, praising the event as a festival of people, not governments or politicians. Which is very good. On the 30th of June, police officers and intelligence take part in a counter-terrorism codenamed Strong Tower. The terror attack simulation has 6 months of planning, country's largest such exercise to date.
just trying to think though, like so this 2015, so obviously you've had terror attacks in London and stuff. It's yeah, I suppose obviously it's the type of thing that always evolves and things, so we obviously need to keep up to date with, cyber terror or again, bombs going off and stuff like that. We've talked about oh no, we didn't mention this one, did we? Well, we just mentioned the Brighton bombing back in the 80s, and then obviously in real life we've just said it's 29 years since the IRA bomb went off in Manchester a couple of weeks ago. It's crazy, But anyway, some cheery stories there from 2015.
Yeah.
Nothing about just finding a puppy and saving it. No,
No,
couldn't
sorry,
find anything like that, Chris, for
any
2015
positive news
June.
stories
No,
for June 20. So, yeah, thank you very much for
no
joining me, Paul.
worries. No worries. It's fine. Well, you know what? July,
Yes,
that could be a bit more upbeat. Height of
I
summer. So fingers
believe
crossed when we
that
come
we
back in a
have
few
the
weeks.
Sega Saturn launch next month.
Ooh, okay.
I think that was
Hmm.
July the 8th. So I do want to do a
There we
full
go.
episode on Sega Saturn. So that is something that's coming in July. And I want to try and get a episode a week release next month, even if it's me on my own doing the podcast. But I do want to do a Sega Saturn one, as I think it's very important to talk about. So that will be done in July. There's also going to be a Please Release Wii episode where I'm going to,
Yes. I see you've
stolen that.
taken that
Yeah.
suggested title.
Liked it. I stole it. There we go. Shouldn't be suggested to me, should it?
I'm up for that. I think I'd be up for that one. The because again, it gives a chance to talk
Yeah.
about Zack
So
and
there's
Ricky.
some great games on Wii that are trapped there, and I wanted to talk about those. So yeah, I was thinking about the games.
And
Well,
Ghost
that you can play
Squad.
it in the arcades.
Yeah, I know you can play it in the
Yes.
arcades,
But anyway,
but,
we'll actually get into
yeah.
the episode. So
Yes.
yes.
Keep our powder dry.
Next month, like I say, Sega Saturn will be spoken about. We're going to do Please Release Wii, and obviously we'll do a July well. And then if I can get another episode, I will do that. It's fine. But yeah, that was it for this week. Thank you very much, Paul. No worries. And next time, hopefully we find out what a Funkadelic is.